Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our live coverage of the panel from hell. You are watching the Triple S League. My name is Ash. I'm here with Moontag. Cyb is still booting up. Hopefully that he installed a new update this morning, so we'll have to forgive him for that. Forgetting what time it is while he's getting an update. Hello, everybody who's watching in the live chat, and welcome. We are back. And we've done our best to give our live streams a bit of a facelift, so you'll notice new layout, some new delightful artwork from our resident artist, Moontag. How are you doing this morning, by the way?
Pretty good. I'm on this mad art spree, and I posted some pictures in the Hero channel, and we'll be sharing some more to the creator gallery on our Discord.
Right on. Right on. Those who are our big damn heroes on Patreon and our channel members on YouTube get a little sneak peek of Moon's artwork and some other stuff that we've been working on. So we've been having fun sharing some of the new stuff that we have been working on, such as the new intros and things for our live streams. Plus, we've got more coming down the pipe. So we're doing lots of things happening here. Things are shuffling, as a lot of our regular podcast listeners know. We have been changing up a couple of things. We are moving our news and podcast coverage to a new channel, which you can find the link to that in the description below. If you haven't subscribed over there yet, we are starting the podcast on that channel starting on Saturday. We'll be doing our Saturday morning podcast, although we are shifting the time by an hour. It'll be an hour earlier than normal. That'll be the new time. And we are going to be moving it over to the Triple S Podcasts channel, so definitely click the link in the description below, subscribe, and subscribe over there, and be sure to catch the podcast. So we'll still be doing 2 podcasts a week. It's just going to be looking a little bit different than it was before. Droblet's saying, where did the video comments section go? I don't know. I think because we're live right now, the comment section might not be active.
Not just yet.
So it'll
video comments. And hi, by the way, video
Cyb
comments
here, yay.
are during the live video. There's no comment section. That's the chat system.
Yeah, I think there might have been the comments might have been active because it was preset, because there was the countdown of thing. The comments might have been active prior to us going live, and now it'll have disappeared. But once we're no longer live anymore, then the comments will probably come back. All right, you can see Panel from Hell 2. It's going to be starting in just over 56 minutes from now. This is going to be a huge update for Baldur's Gate 3. So we're anticipating tons of Baldur's Gate 3 news today. With these 4 guys, the Panel from Hell.
I've even got some rumored content that we're going to be getting in the future for Baldur's Gate. Probably not announced today. Most definitely not announced today, most likely. But things that are probably in the cards for the next 2 years. So,
yeah, sure. We can talk about that in just a sec, but let's look at what we're anticipating from the Baldur's Gate 3 live stream that's going to be taking place in just under an hour. So patch 4 is going to be coming in. This is a big one. This is a mammoth. This is gargantuan. This is the biggest thing. This is the biggest patch they've ever forged at the Larian Forge. According to they said something like that. So as you can see on your screen right now, it says patch 4, our largest patch ever. Your old saves are not going to work anymore when you install this patch. Just be aware of that. So if you're nearing the end of something that you want to experience and you don't want to lose your saves right away, well, don't get this patch right away. Now, I don't know exactly how you prevent the patch from automatically installing.
It's an option in Steam. They have a walkthrough on their community post about it. If you're interested,
okay.
If you don't want to upgrade, or if you want to de-rank your game at some point to a previous patch, you can do that all within the Steam options.
Okay, that's good that they have that. So if you want, you can go grab your current save files. Just look up online, the folder where those save files are being kept.
Those will be in documents / Larian Studios / Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, there you go. Cyb has all the answers. See, I knew that update was a good idea. Yeah, so go there, grab your save files, copy them to some other folder on your computer as a backup if you want to keep them for later. And then if you want to downgrade from patch number 4 back to the previous version and then continue with those save files, then all you have to do is copy them back into the saves folder where they currently are, and you should be able to continue like that.
Most of your mods will no longer work. Most, not all. There's a good chunk that will remain working because they affect small, minor little things that are unchanged in this patch. But you'll probably want to disengage all of your mods and then reinstall them after they've been updated for this mod. Most of them, like I said, will not be working, but in most cases, to get them working will be a small, minor tweak, and in some cases, it'll just simply be a reinstall. So that meaning that you've copied over files over the default files, the vanilla files, and you're to re-engage the mod because it's doing something basic. You just have to reinstall that mod and just reinstall it over top of the existing files. And in a lot of cases, this won't bug anything out, but in some cases it will. So it's best to just re-download everything from Nexus whenever you're ready, or from whatever mod source you're using.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Islington girl, or no, sorry, Islington. I gotta keep remembering that. Yeah, so there are mods already. It's the community's all over this game. The community is all over this game. Yeah. Okay, so what else we're expecting to see today? They've got like a little table of contents laid out here on their website. So how the community helps shape Baldur's Gate 3. They've been very into that. They've been very into getting the community feedback. This game's going to be in early access for a very long time. And then, when the full release comes out, it's going to be very polished. At least that's what we're predicting from, how things are going already. It's going to be very polished. It's going to have incorporated a ton of community feedback. And really, they should have done this with Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, come on. This is a good system. This is a really good system, I think, especially when you're making a game super complicated like this. Give the community what they want. Put it in early access. People are, the people who are willing to forgive the bugs and suffer through some of the rough edges, they will do that. And you've got a massive base of players then to draw feedback from, and then when the full release happens, it'll be a nice polished product. I think Larian's really, has this been done before like this? I guess Larian did this with Divinity Original Sin 2, didn't they? That was in early access for a very long time, was it not?
So this is using the exact same release strategy that they used for Divinity Original Sin 2. This will be much more accelerated, though, by their own words. So Larian's original Divinity Original Sin 2 was in beta for, I think, about a year and a half, almost 2 years. They started a little bit earlier, and they kind of focused down on kind of getting everything right to begin with, and it really picked up steam. And then by the time they did the full release, everybody was kind of amazed at the game. They did rush themselves a little bit. So they did have a definitive edition that came out about a year after that included a lot of like things that they wanted to redo. The final act was significantly altered from their original release one, just because they weren't happy with a lot of things, and there were a lot of things that players commented on that they went, you know what, you're right, and we need to fix that. And it just, overall, the definitive edition really like picked up the game overall. But it was kind of like how you say it, like the whole experience was kind of like scattered and all over the place because of all of the changes and updates and everything like that. So yeah, there's some there was some difficulty there with that, but I think what we're going to see here is we're going to see a much more smoothed out process. And I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a much better later act introduction when they actually drop the whole game. That's at least kind of from what I'm seeing right now. It could be that the later acts will suffer from, not enough polish or something like that too. But this company is committed to this way of doing the game, so I think that they will improve overall. It's just a generalized fear. If something goes wrong with the game, it'll be the later acts not getting as much polish as they want to get when they guarantee it coming out. But they haven't guaranteed the release date, so right now that's up to them, and they only have themselves to blame if they do that, because right now they don't need to guarantee the release date for the full game. So if they need to delay it another 6 months, they can go ahead and do that right now. They can do that at any time between now and their intended release of it. So I would just get them to promise that they won't guarantee the full release until they know that they have it. And it's within grasp, but that's why it's kind of like, it's really nice that they're doing it this way, because any problems that they get with characters, builds, stories, technical glitches, that kind of stuff, this is all being like hammered out before it drops in this phase. Now, there was something I wanted to say about just the overall, like, should you get the game right now? It's in early access. It's in its beta stage, essentially. One might even argue it's kind of like close to its alpha stage, because there's still big mechanics that they're potentially going to add or not. So should you get it now? And if you're worried about story, I don't think you need to worry about that. If you're worried about getting spoiled, I don't think you need to worry about that, because the first act in this game is going to be setting things up. It's not necessarily going to include massive spoilers. I think that when you take the game, if you go into the future, when the game is released, and you were to line up all the spoilers that happen within the game, of you watching the trailers, of you understanding what the goal of the game is, the D&D world that it's set in, all those basic rules and things like that. If you have all of that knowledge ahead of time, and we're assuming that you have that knowledge, and you line up the spoilers from Act 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, if they're doing 5 this time, which they did in the last game, then what you will see is that the majority of the spoilers, out of the top 100 spoilers that are in the game, 95 of them are going to be in Acts 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're not going to be in Act 1. The biggest spoilers in Act 1 is that Astarion is a vampire, which we know from the trailers, which from having watched anything about this game, and is well known if you just peruse the different starting characters that you can recruit and play. And because you can pick Astarion to play with from the beginning of the game, this is not a spoiler. This is something that is well known and is discovered fairly quickly by the player if they're not playing as Astarion.
It's hard to call anything from Act 1 a spoiler, really. It's like seeing the first episode and then...
Yeah, it's kind of like and Astarion is who they introed the game with, right? They introed the first playthrough of the game was, hey, this guy's a vampire, and now he's not burning up in the sun because of the worm in his head. And it's like, none of that stuff is spoilers. That stuff is the introduction.
Yeah, it's all introductory,
like
material.
pilot info.
Mm-hmm.
It's establishing characters and things. Yes.
Yeah. So that, if you call that a spoiler, then you should stick your head in the sand and not go on the internet at all for the next 2 years, because everything is going to be a spoiler. That's not insulting. I'm just saying that this is the way that they're presenting their story. Is it presenting their story by saying this is the character and this is what his trials are going to be. So past that, there's some other characters in the game that have some interesting backstories, but you encounter all of them, and you can you can see what it is when you're choosing to play the game as any of those characters. So if you want to play the game as any of these other characters, you're going to see their full backstory, and you're going to know what is going to become surprising to the other characters in Act 1, but that doesn't mean that you should be surprised by that.
Yeah.
The game isn't designed...
We get it. It's
it's not designed to be that.
It's all the Act 1 info, so if you play through Act 1, you play through the early access, it's not going to spoil the whole game. It's just all of the intro stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But the other issue to to discuss with whether or not to get into this on early access is you will encounter bugs and you will encounter things that will change over time. They're upgrading and changing things, adding things, removing things, smoothing it out. This is early access, so you do have to bear that in mind. Now, I know a lot of people who are having a ton of fun with it, that are loving the game on our, in our community on the Triple S League Discord server. Check out link below if you want to check that community out. And there's Lady Reaver. I know she's loving the game. Islington Girl sounds like is playing the game as well. I know there's a bunch of folks in our community who have been who've been playing this and really enjoying it. So lots of enjoyment potential already, but you do have to be aware that you're getting into an early access game. So as long as you're okay with that and you know what that entails, then all power to you. Just recognize certain things might be broken, and that's to be expected when you're in early access. Yeah, Islington Girl says, hi, I love it too. Zenuel Flamesinger, welcome. Says, hey, you guys, try to pry and ask as much about Spelljammer as possible. They may leak the 5e summer release. Do you have anything to say about that? I'm not even sure what that all means, but now we will not be talking directly with the Larian or the 5e guys. We'll just be watching the live stream. But anyway, go ahead, Sib.
We'll be throwing questions to them in their comment section, but I mean that's the same as everybody else. But basically, and I don't think they're going to be doing any. I don't think they're going to be doing very many Q&As. I didn't see them mention that. I think that they're going to be presenting their existing content for their patch, and then they may be going into their plans for the next patch. But I don't think they're going to be like. I don't think they're going to be doing a lot of back and forth Q&A. So that's kind of like what we're here for. So as far as official 5e expansion stuff, I don't think that you're going to see any of that here, because again, these are still two different companies, and things like that are going to be are not going to be launched here first as a most likely case. However,
well, I'd like to point out this. If you look at point 5 on their little list here, it says discussing something, they've got it blocked out, with Jeremy Crawford, principal rules designer at Dungeons and Dragons. So they're going to be talking with him about something.
Yeah, no, again, if you like, so as I was saying, however, the case that they may be introducing some new stuff that's coming to the tabletop with the help of Larian by introducing it at the same time is something that is on the table, and pointing to that note that Ash just rudely interrupted me and pointed out already. So, yes,
well,
that.
Sorry. Okay. What else we're looking at here? So they're going to be talking about how the community helps to shape the game. We've talked about that a bit. Patch 4, their largest patch ever. Meeting the challenges, a look inside. So some behind-the-scenes info looks like. An immersive look at something and even something else. They've got this stuff blanked out. So we'll see some surprises here tonight. But then it looks like we're going to get some gameplay. Some live gameplay with Sven Vinke playing through patch 4. Speedrun challenge. How slow can he go this time? So we're anticipating a very long live stream here. So buckle up, get comfortable, grab your snacks, whatever, drinks, coffee. Got a nice tall cup of coffee here, and I'm full of bacon and eggs. So I should be good to go for the rest of the morning and afternoon here. So, yeah. We were originally going to do a podcast this afternoon, our normal augmented reality podcast, but it's looking like this Larian live stream is potentially going for 2.5 hours. We don't know exactly, but they've listed an end time as the listed end time on the Steam post is 2.5 hours after the start time. So this could definitely be a long stream.
Yeah. So before we get into that, let's cover some other news stories. We've got looks like we've got less than 10 minutes now before they kick the panel on.
40 minutes, sir. 40 minutes.
Now their countdown on their thing says 9 minutes as of right now.
Countdown on on which one are you watching? Because if you look at their website, that like it's not supposed to start for another 39 minutes. Panel from Hell number 2.
Yeah,
they might be going live with a countdown.
Yes, that's what I'm saying is that they may be some relevant stuff that might just be a countdown timer, but we've got 9 minutes before that starts. So,
all right. What do you want to dive into?
So let's start with some sad news. I know you guys are all going to be horrified by this news and really upset, and everybody's going to be really depressed and whatnot. So starting on not with that sad news, but some other news. So I'm still only like 50% or less right now. I'm still suffering from this thing, and it's still causing speech impediment and difficulty in some other areas. So thanks for your thoughts and prayers and all that stuff. It has been helping. I've been recovering faster than I've recovered in the past. So I'm still under the weather, so to speak, with a neurological / nerve issue. So thanks for the thoughts. So from there, the sad news is that it appears as if we will not be seeing anything from an Anthem next. Just in general, I got off the phone earlier today with a dev who was on the original team, and the original team, so the game overall is not looking good right now. It's been 2 years since the launch. It's been a horrendous last 2 years for the game, for the community. And the team that is currently on this project, they're based out of one of the other studios in the States, and they've been slowly working on this game. Every time they put a leader in the position of being in charge of this, they quit and they move to a different company. That happened, I think, 3 times in total. So ultimately, they just said, okay, nobody's really in charge officially, because they couldn't take yet another person leaving the project. From the outset, the developer team realized that this was this was most likely a canceled project. They made their money back from development resources and a little bit more, actually a lot bit more, because unlike Cyberpunk and unlike even 76, there were not a lot of refunds for this game. There was not a large movement demanding refunds. They refunded less than 5% of purchases. So that's insane, considering that Cyberpunk has refunded over 15%. 76 refunded almost 20%. So and these companies are given crap, like Bethesda and CDPR has been given absolute garbage for their recent rollouts, whereas nobody made this level of complaints when it came to EA. I wonder if that has anything to do with some of these companies and some of these media companies all being interconnected and owned by the same parent companies and sister companies as EA is, and so there's just a mild notice that nobody was writing tons of articles about how people were demanding refunds from EA, because that never happened, because EA doesn't have that policy. So yeah, just kind of a reminder there that to people who think that CDPR is the new EA. It's not, even by just the basic definition. It's not even close to. So just a reminder that things can always be worse, and it's pretty much always worse with EA. So Anthem is, under review by the board. They were supposed to put out an announcement on Monday. They have been delaying for a while. Apparently, the delay is because the community wanted to see how much support they could rally, how much there's this new hashtag that was trending called "I believe in Anthem." Now, most people thought that this had to do with an actual anthem, and whether they believed in their anthem or not.
A national anthem,
as in a national anthem. So a lot of people liked that hashtag because of that reason, because none of them have actually heard about this stupid game. Over on the subreddit for this game, they were all praising and they have a moratorium on negative posts. A moratorium over negative posts. Because controlling everything that's all news around a particular subject, that's worked so well before. That's super healthy for a communicative community, and it's super healthy for that. It's just like North Korea. If y'all believe that it's the best thing since sliced bread, and you don't allow anybody to say anything negative about it, surprise, surprise, there'll be no negative interactions. Amazing. Fools.
It's like how if you just remove all laws, you'll have zero crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I like. So I brought up this Reddit post that you made this morning, Saib, describing your call with this member of the Anthem development team.
Yeah, I thought they might be interested in it, but
it's gone now. It's just gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It was deleted almost immediately. This wasn't a horribly negative post. This was just a general hey, here's the information that I have. Thought you guys might be interested in it. There's a small chance that that there is a reshuffle going on, and that the reshuffle is to actually make way for them to move this to a new studio, and moving some of those core team members that have been on the rebuild over to those new studios to have them work on this. It could be that. It could be that it is going to get some new funding, and it is going to get moved over, but it's probably not going to be moved over to a bigger wing of BioWare. It's probably going to need to be moved over to a completely new studio, just because BioWare doesn't have the time, the resources, and the leadership, because that just quit, to actually rerun this. So if there is going to be some movement in this, it would require basically a new company, and the company to basically walk in and take over the production of this, and to try and make it to try and help it become something new-ish. So yeah, posted that, and then they did not enjoy that. They immediately took it down, said that it was negative information about the. So it's not just the only information that's positive. So anyways, like I said, delusional people over there. It's and again, I don't want to hit somebody when they're down, but look, guys, this whole I believe in Anthem thing got, even amongst their own community, didn't garner more than 2,000 people. Did not garner more than 2,000 people. I don't know what to tell you. Fallout 76, when it was at its worst moment, had 20,000 people playing it at the very least. This is numbers that I've been able to confirm now, well after a year of that game being out. Right now, the number of people playing Fallout is well over 100,000. So the game is actually doing pretty well. 76 is actually it's got NPCs, it's got stories, the world is way more alive. They're increasing the inventory stash by another 50%. They are doing tons and tons of things to really help the game grow over there. There was some negative news recently saying, "Oh, now they've gone silent. They're preparing to give up on it." No. With Microsoft's funding now, they are increasing their team over there. They are increasing their goals over there. Again, guys, this is not a great game. Its launch was horrific. That would probably what I would say about its release. It was garbage. It was absolute garbage. and it was garbage for a good 9 months. It wasn't until they started to add NPCs that the game actually started to become playable, or what I would call playable. And right now, it is not bad. It is decent as far as a Fallout game goes. It is still not good or great. It is decent. If you are a diehard Fallout fan, I would suggest that you wait for the next big update, which I think is coming down the road shortly here. And I would suggest you give it another try if you already own it. If you don't own it, I would not suggest buying the game because it's not a great game. It's not a good game. It's a decent game right now. So it's come up from horrendous, tragic garbage to, so it's all right. I wouldn't encourage anybody who's not into Fallout to buy it. I wouldn't encourage even Fallout fans to buy it if they hadn't bought it before. I would encourage people to keep an eye on it because this is the sign of what Microsoft is going to do with Bethesda. They're not going to be abandoning them. They're not going to be cutting them off. They're not going to be dumping them in a ditch somewhere. They are going to be trying to make things better. And I really think that is what they're trying to do here. So heads up, they are really trying to make that game better. So what does that mean? Looking at 76, looking at No Man's Sky, does Anthem have a probability of coming back? And the answer to this is no. Not even in the slightest. No. First of all, even at its worst, 76 had 20,000 people playing it. At its best, Anthem has less than 2,000 people playing it. They tried to have a day where they encouraged people to come back to break the 1,000 player, consistent player mark. So what does that mean? That means for the past year, the game has had less than 1,000 people playing it concurrently at all times. That is horrendous. You can't recover from this. There's not enough people. And even their whole, I believe in Anthem stuff that they tried to share around, which I would have been a lot more forgiving and a lot more less rude if they had, if they were allowing actual conversation to happen on it. I was actually going to be trying to, put kind of a, positive influence on the community. But let's face it, the community isn't allowing actual conversation. The community is controlling everything. And even with that, all they've managed to do is pull around 2,000 people. And that's just 2,000 people to interact positively with the stuff. So
they've got a tough uphill road, especially considering it's a brand new IP. People are not happy with the fact that Mass Effect had to suffer so that this atrocious thing could exist.
Oh, and I have new information about Andromeda today too, so I'll get into that in a sec. But just overall, this game is garbage. It's always been garbage. It will continue to always be garbage. They're not going to get a second revamp. It's highly unlikely at this point. They're basically getting ready to move everybody from what remains to be on that crew. So I expect within a few days they'll have an announcement going, we believe in this, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for playing the game, but we're going to be moving on now, and we're going to shut the servers down in a few months. Play for free now. If they were serious about rebuilding this, if they were serious about that, if they were serious about this from the beginning, they wouldn't be continuing to charge $100 for skins. They're still charging $100 for skins. It's over, guys. Give it a break. Geez, know when to call it quits.
All right. So, quickly. So I'm curious, what is this tidbit you have about Andromeda?
So Andromeda's original budget, and this is what I love about these big mega gaming companies and studios. Activision has this habit where their entire budget runs off of a tiny department fueled by less than 100 people to make them billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. And they pay these guys pennies on the dollar for their actual skill value, citing that, hey, it's a dream to work here, buddy. You're getting experience. It's disgusting. So yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, despite having was done in this Montreal studio that had, frankly, some of the worst leadership I have ever seen or heard of. These people were power hungry. What's that term where they're like completely
narcissists?
Narcissists.
Yeah, narcissist. I was going for egomaniac, but yeah, sure, narcissist. They were forced to use this Frostbite engine, which was absolute garbage. Still is to this day. Their leadership was just horrendous. There were people who were in lead positions who had no experience in that position. So one of their animators didn't actually have experience animating when they took over the animation department. And this is where, my face is tired, which, by the way, I finally understand. That line, my face is tired? Well, my face is tired right now because I'm suffering from, nerve damage. And I can't move half my face. And then now I finally understand the term, my face is tired. But, that I don't think the character was suffering from that. So I don't think it was a great line. However, turns out that the EA only gave them a budget to create 2 additional races. That's why we didn't have any new races in the game other than just the 2. And they were very similar, as you know, because they were the same race. Oh, shocker, guys. Big spoiler alert, they're the same race. Oh my god. So it turns out that this entire time, EA had only given them a budget to run, basically nothing, and they were expecting them to create this game that would make them over $1 billion. But they didn't even give them proper funding to do that. This is this movie theater style, Hollywood-esque type funding where it's we're going to give you $200 million to make this movie. And we're expecting this movie to at least make $1.5 billion. It's well, that's quite the investment there, really? Hey, you think you could spend an extra $100 million on this? No. Do you have any idea how many yachts that is? I need an entire fleet of yachts, sir. Now do your job, or we'll replace you with somebody who will. It's this is what this corrupt, absolute corrupt Hollywood elite kind of mentality is, and it's absolutely disgusting.
Well, it's a shame to see that invading the gaming space.
Yeah,
that's very unfortunate. Question in the chat from Valral: do you have any new info on the Mass Effect Remaster trilogy?
It's not going to be good. It's going to be good in the sense of you can pick up and play the game and you'll have fun. Playing through what is essentially, the old games with a slightly higher, mesh and texture count. And again, I would advise you to pick this game up for people who've never played the whole game beginning to end. But don't pick this up. If you played through them, you're not getting anything new here. The first game is barely improved. It's not a remake. It's just a texture pack, basically. There's some remapping controls and tighter combat in number 1, but that's it. Everything else is the exact same as you played through it before. No new content, no new nothing. It's just garbage, essentially, in my humble opinion. Again, do I encourage other people who haven't played the game or haven't played the whole series beginning to end? Yeah, sure, give it a try. But please don't buy this game if you have, please don't buy this game if you're just wanting to support them. Please don't, because this isn't the support that they need. It really isn't. And I mean, I hate to say it, but with yet even more leadership leaving BioWare, and no new skilled blood coming in, and most of their experienced staff having, brain drained out. I don't think there's a BioWare studio left here, and it's really sad. It really is quite sad, and I think we're going to be horrified by the next Dragon Age. I really think that we're going to be horrified by the next Dragon Age. I think that it'll appear as if it's kind of smooth, but the more you look at it, the more you're going to find these like really big, disgusting holes. And I really,
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's incredibly unfortunate.
Okay. We're just under 20 minutes away from the Panel from Hell 2 live stream.
They started a countdown. It was quite loud.
Yeah. All right. So a couple of other things we wanted to talk about here today. We should talk about the situation with the CD Projekt Red hack and what happened with the code that happened there. The code that was stolen and was basically VX Underground is confirming that they the source codes for these games was actually sold. The source codes for Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, and Gwent. Do you want to talk a bit about that side? Because there was some skepticism about this. Some channels and influencers were skeptical. Some industry analysts were skeptical of this whole situation, saying, "Yeah, the hackers didn't really sell it. They're just saying they did to save face." But it's sounding like from the info you have that, it actually was sold and it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, no. So information that I have based on some reporting from I forgot their name. It's a cybersecurity firm that monitors this kind of stuff. They said that it appears to have been sold. Not appears as if they're taking face value, but from what they've heard, it does appear this firm employs a lot of white hat hackers and people who spend a lot of time in the underground, and yeah, it does appear as if it has sold. So this is really bad news for CDPR, unless it's not. And how can it not be? Well, the purchaser could be a government entity. It could be a bank. It could be a security firm. It could be a law enforcement posing as, half a dozen other people. The money that they might be sending these people might be flagged in such a way that when they go, because you don't just transfer $7 million to somebody, and there's a, hey, you transferred $7 million, we got rich. No, that's not how this works. So anytime you're moving more than $10,000, actually it's exactly $10,000 or more from any account across any border, government and banks put a tracker on that kind of stuff, and they can see where it's going. So how are these people going to get this money out? Well, not very easily. So if they're going to try and pull it all out, they need to pull it out in cash, which again, in most countries that you go to, there's a handful of places that you can do this, but it's like, we're talking like Cuba and a couple other places where there's, non-extradition treaties and very lax security and stuff like that. Chances of them being able to pull this money out means that if you're pulling out $7 million from a bank, you have to give them at least 24 hours notice. If you're not going to give them 24 hours notice and you want it paid out right now, they will take a percentage cut of your withdrawal. And that's usually around the 30% mark or more, which means that if you got $1 million, you're not pulling out that $1 million unless you give them 24 hours notice or more. Sometimes it's 48 hours. Sometimes it's, it's 3, 4, 5 business days notice, because they have to move the cash to the bank, because most banks don't have, they're not sitting on $10 million in reserves. They're usually sitting on a very small amount of that. They're usually sitting on like $1 million tops for small banks. For moderate sized banks, like I think the limit's like 10 or 20 million. And then, big, banks downtown in major cities, yeah, sure, they'll have like 20 or 30 million on hand. But again, this is how this works. So are they going to get the full let's say that just for case of argument, they sold it for $2 million. Are they going to get the $2 million? No. What they'll try to do potentially is they'll try to like use that money to buy out a whole bunch of crypto coins somewhere, and then they'll pull, which they are themselves selling, and then that money goes into that crypto coin. Then they pull that money out, and that way you can kind of get that money out that way. But you're usually only getting less than like 50% of that money out. So yeah. So again, if these guys are wanting to get the maximum amount of money, they have to show up physically somewhere. If they show up physically somewhere, they're going to get caught. Like they're going to call the bank and say, "Hey, we want to pull all this money out of this account, tomorrow or the day after." And the bank's like, "Sure thing." And the bank hangs up and immediately calls the police and says, "Hey, we see that this account has been flagged for fraud. These guys are coming to the bank to pick it up tomorrow." And so they'll just have a bunch of security and FBI people or whoever, is handling it. We'll just be there waiting in what's the out of uniform? What's the word for it being out of uniform?
Undercover. Yeah.
No, plainclothes officers.
Plainclothes. Yep.
Yeah, so they'll just have plainclothes guys there, and they'll just move in and arrest them. And then they'll find out by pressuring them, who the rest of their teammates are. So that's if a government entity or some security analyst company managed to get this. Means that they probably were going to recover all of the money that they spent. And yeah, so there's a high likelihood that this was a sting operation. We know that the government of Poland has money tied up in CDPR, so they don't want to lose out on that investment. So they'll want to come down hard on this. Most every security firm would love to take these guys down. There are some security firms that would actually front the money themselves just to catch these guys, because these guys are a problem to everybody else, and there's probably like bounties out for these people if they can prove that they've been involved in any other stuff before. Which, if they manage to pull this off, I guarantee you they're wanted somewhere for something beforehand. Because this wasn't a group of like teenagers going, "Hey, let's rob CDPR." No, this was a group of very well professional people who were basically like, they hacked through security that's as good as a typical bank security. So this is not a bunch of like newbies. This is a professional gang that are that targeted CDPR because it was a good target at the time, that stole it because they thought they could get away with it, and they're probably meaning to, but will they actually be able to? We don't know. So in the term of like, did they manage to sell it and get a profit? When you ask that question, the term that some people are saying, no, that's highly unlikely. That is true, because there's a good chance that these guys are going to get taken by this security group.
Now, what are the chances that this is the scenario that it was?
I'd say about 50%. So
Okay.
It's about 50% likely that it was one of these people who set this up. And so like government, security, finance, somebody who's got a vested interest in making sure that this doesn't happen again, or that this doesn't happen to CDPR again, or somebody who's, covering for somebody else. Because again, you don't just let this stuff happen. If you can shut it down, then you would typically shut it down, because, it's like allowing thieves to just like, live near you. It's like eventually they're going to hit you too. So, that's why banks and all kinds of companies would be interested in keeping this, keeping their hands off this. Now, if this was sold to an actual black flag profiteer, pirate type, what you're going to see is full DRM free, full copies of this game being sold for dollars on other shady websites. And if you're stupid enough to buy it, expect it to be full of malware that goes really deep and is going to bypass pretty much all of your current protections, and is going to either lock your computer and force you to pay which by the way never works. If your computer system gets hacked with this like this hostage malware where it's like, you have to pay this much money to this website before we unlock your computer. You know, they never unlock the computers, right? Like, they don't do that. Occasionally they have, but they don't actually, like, typically, like, when an average person, like, they held a medical computer system hostage in the States, and they had to, like, they had to negotiate to get that stuff unlocked because it was like a bunch of information that was like, if they lose it, it's gone forever. And that was that was a problem. So they actually had to open actual like negotiation lines to get that stuff unlocked. But for the average Joe who downloads a virus that locks the computer out, it flashes a screen saying your computer's been hacked and we're holding it hostage until you send $800 in cryptocurrency to this address. Those computers are never unlocked. You take it to your computer store, you say it's frozen, they tear out the old hard drive, or they format the entire thing from scratch, and they reinstall everything, and you get a clean computer. Like, that's what we're talking about here. So don't be stupid enough to buy these games from these websites where it's like, oh, play Cyberpunk 2077 for $2. Like, oh, that's a great idea. Oh my goodness, my computer got hacked. How did this happen? My identity got stolen. All my bank account passwords were seized off my computer. How did this happen? I don't know, because you're an idiot who bought a hacked game off of a pirate site. Like, geez. Like, heads up. Even when I'm downloading stuff from like file sharing things, I scan every single file I get multiple times. And I do a visual check over the file structure just to make sure that it's like appropriate. And this is just, I'm not pirating games. I'm literally like downloading games that I have indie friends who make games and they host them on these sites. But just to make sure that they're copied, because it's being hosted on a fairly cheap system, right? Usually free. It's usually like Mega or something like that. You just want to make sure that their system's clean, right? And so again, you should have good security and whatnot, but that's not going to protect you against a game that has, like Cyberpunk 2077, that has been corrupted at its core file system. If these hackers got their hands on the game and are selling it at $2 a sale. If you pick this game up for $2 off of a Steam sale, then congratulations. Like, that's legit. But if you're picking it up for $2 from a key site, or if you're picking it up from, these other places, it's a scam. Either you're getting scammed or somebody else is getting scammed. But somebody's getting scammed in that setup. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the other theories that I've heard is that it was bought by a rival game company and that CDPR bought their own stuff back. Now, what do you think? What do you think about those possibilities?
So the only company not the only company. There's a handful of companies who would buy it to use the internal. They're not going to sell the game. They're going to strip the game out, going to find the cool tech that they have in there, and then they're going to learn how to duplicate that tech and put it into their game. The chances of that happening are low, but not impossible. Companies have done this before, but if you're caught with this, if your company is based out of Europe or the UK, Europe, or America, if you get caught doing this, you're screwed bigly. Like, you're going to be sued into the ground, and you're going to lose everything. And all of the CEOs, anybody who knew that they were doing this, they're all going to get sued into the ground, and most of the higher ups are going to be facing jail time. So does this happen? It does. Is this likely to happen now? No, not even in the slightest. I really doubt that from anybody who's in America, basically. But again, how does it work? We don't quite know all the ins and outs. Has big companies done this in the past? Has EA or Activision or Take-Two stolen content and then used that content to make other games? I can definitively say yes, that's happened in at least one scenario with one of those companies. Now, was it legal? Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, they managed to make it legal. Was it morally right? No, not from a long shot. But again, yeah, if you want to get the money, if you want to do this to a company, again, there's examples of big companies doing this all the time. So, but they wouldn't go around in this way, shape, or form. Now, is it likely that CDPR bought it themselves to save face or to, quote unquote, negotiate a return of their product? Again, I don't think so, because it would have been easier for them to go to the government or to go to, any of the security companies that handle this kind of stuff and say, here's some money we're fronting for you to get this back. And then they would have posed as an external buyer, bought it, and then returned it to them anyways. So yeah, that's possible. But I mean, again, if they're going to do that, then they're going to go through with it and they're going to catch them, or as many of them as they can. And that wouldn't be CDPR buying it back themselves. That would be, that would be a security company doing it for you. Again, if you're the victim of this, and they're having an open sale on your product, there's no reason why you wouldn't go through a security company, hand them the money and say, hey, please get this back. We're fronting the money for this exchange. And then the security people handle it from there. The chances of you actually getting a legitimate copy of it back and ensuring that they're not holding on to a backup copy is a lot higher when you do that. And yeah, just generally, it's just a much, 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 much smarter idea. So,
okay. We're going to go back live to the Larian website, where, as you can see, it's just under 3 minutes until Panel from Hell 2 starts. So this is the moment where the big Baldur's Gate 3 reveals are going to start in just over 2.5 minutes now. So I'm going to switch over to the live stream here and start getting that ready. So earlier, Saib, you said you had some rumors of possibly what we might see from Baldur's Gate in the future. Not necessarily stuff that's going to be announced officially today, but possibly stuff we might see in the future. Did you want to talk about that now?
Yeah.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So there's a book in the game that talks about species in around Baldur's Gate that has been seen by characters within the game. So it's just a book, and we don't know if this is like legit or not. But I thought I'd mention it. If they're going to add these characters to the game, there's a good chance that we'll see this stuff down the road. Again, not here, not in this patch 4, probably like much further down the road, probably even post-launch, I would imagine. And that would be bird folk, cat folk, turtle people, and elemental humans with Jinn ancestry, so like genie type ancestry. So these are I forget the name for them, but yeah. So there's bird people, cat people, elemental genie type people, and turtle people as the potential addition to races in the future. So this is really cool. This basically means that they're really laying the groundwork ahead for giving a lot of options in this category. And so, yeah, I'm really, really excited about that, because the amount of stuff that we can come across and the amount of characters and things like that we're going to potentially see in the future is more than just a small amount. Like we're actually potentially going to be seeing like a ton of like really, really cool characters, really, really cool options for customization. And yeah, I think that's literally a great idea. And I'm hoping that we see that, hopefully before launch. But yeah, the as many options as possible. Like really, we want to see as many options as possible for this game. So,
all right. Panel from Hell 2 going live in just a few seconds here. As soon as it starts, I will crank up the volume a little bit. Oh, here we go. Okay.
The music in this game is amazing, and I can't wait for us to get their full. Like, they're probably going to add another song or two in, so looking forward to that. Owlbear, yay! Love the owlbear. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Oh, there we go. Yeah, some cute shadow heart. Yeah. So right now this is just the community doing art and stuff like that and submitting it to them, which is pretty darn cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're a little out of sync. I wonder if I should stream this to you, Seer.
What? No. Are we not getting this from the same source?
Yeah, we are. But you're watching on Twitch, right? So.
Yeah.
No, I'm watching on the YouTube.
Oh, you're gonna be behind then. Yeah, move over to their Twitch stream.
No, their Twitch stream and their YouTube stream should be the same thing. Ugh.
YouTube always has more of a delay. It just keeps going and going. This is some awesome. It's an awesome gallery of art that they put together here. Wow.
I love the 30 seconds of unskippable ads.
Yeah. Chibi. I don't know who the character is, but it's a cute chibi character. What do you think, Moon? As our resident artist.
Great diversity of styles and like just all these faces that they've captured of the characters from this game. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and this is this is one of the differences that you have in this game versus like something like Anthem. It's like the community is engaged with this game. Thousands of artists are actively engaged in coming up with content and elaborating on character design and stuff like that. You don't get that in Anthem.
No, what characters?
There's no characters that are memorable, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing on the harp. I think I know who this is, but I can't remember.
Okay, I'm sitting here trying to decide if this is CG or not.
No,
It's photorealistic, but some of the facial movements just looked off in the previous one, like in the previous shot. But in this one,
no.
Definitely a real person.
Well, real person, but
this is a YouTuber or Twitch streamer who does song covers. I can't remember who it is. Her face is really, really familiar, though.
yeah, I know it's a real person, but I was getting some uncanny valley a second ago, but now it's like, now she looks completely photorealistic. I don't know, very impressive anyway, regardless.
The harp. You know, the harp is an amazing instrument. It takes an hour to tune every single time you want to go to play it. It takes an hour to tune, and it stays in tune for about 15 minutes or until somebody opens a door. So yeah.
So sensitive. Wow.
Valral says, nice art, and this game isn't even out yet. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, right?
Exactly.
And this is why I'm starting to think that this method of doing an alpha release Not the whole game, but a partial part of the game, and then just having that bit like, refreshed over and over and over again. Yeah.
You'll have everything you could ever desire.
So I never got the
Hello,
that
everybody,
Dream
and
Girl
welcome
character.
To panel from Hell
here we go.
number 2. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and I hope you. Last time we did this, it was a lot of fun, and I think we are going to have a lot
some
of fun
audio
today.
issues,
Also,
sadly.
Yeah,
obviously, we're gonna be
it's
talking
Sev's
lots
cutting
about
in and
update
out on
for
his
patch
audio.
4, as we call it, for Baldur's Gate 3. We have a full program about it.
Something wrong
We're
with his
gonna be talking
microphone. You
to
can hear.
David Walgrave or Head
Yeah,
of
they've
Production
switched
about
microphones
patch
now.
4. We'll be talking about the patch. Also
And they
with
switched
Jeremy
it again.
Crawford from Dungeons and Dragons, the principal rules designers over there, and with our own Nick Buchanan, who is going to explain to us how we did a certain thing that I'm not going to announce just yet. We will also have some non-Baldur's Gate 3 news. We're going to be talking about our board game, the Divinity Original Sin 2.
They have an actual cow at the
We'll
studio.
chat about some important Larian Studios news,
They
which is
have an
important for
actual
us.
cow at the
And
studio.
we will top it all off with a live
Oh,
gameplay.
can't wait till the cow
featuring
poops
very
on
big
camera.
news
That'll be
that
great.
contains many things
I
that
imagine they will
not
cut
allowed to
away.
name, and for which we have no
Paulie
other
says
name
his
than
mic
the very
audio
big
is
thing
tired.
that contains
Yes.
many other things. Now, before we get started, it would be good to put our campaign into perspective, to see where we are in our early access campaign, and chat about everything that's happened so far and everything that's going to come. We launched early access a little over 4 months ago, sorry, on October 6th. And since then, we released, I think it's 3 updates and 6 hotfixes. And those represented, give or take a few, about 15,000 change lists, as we like to call them. And patch 4, which is releasing today, actually contains another 15 of those.
Oh, it is releasing today.
Change lists. And that means that this patch is as big as everything else that we've done before together. So what can you
Up to
expect?
this
Well,
point,
let's
yeah.
talk first about things that we did. When we started out with patch 4, with Baldur's Gate 3 on early access, our initial focus was on increasing stability, increasing performance, getting things to actually work. And then gradually we started plugging in things that were reactions to community feedback that we were receiving. For instance, we changed the way that cantrips worked. You guys weren't big fans of all the surfaces that we created with the cantrips, so we removed those. We changed the way that resting was working. We changed approval ratings, so there was quite a lot of upset about how intolerant some of our party members were, so we tweaked that a little bit, make them a bit more tolerant. And like this, we added a whole bunch of things. We focused on quality of life, so for instance, we made it so that if you jump over a obstacle, then the rest of the party will also jump over it, so they didn't have to micromanage them. We put in an upcasting UI so that changing the level at which you're going to cast a spell was going to become easy. We introduced rewards for peaceful solutions to certain confrontations that you had in the game. We added also features like inspiration points or cross saves. We put in extra tutorial messages. We improved the combat AI, so we added a whole ton of things. And a lot of these things were literally inspired by the feedback that we got on the forums, on the community channels, but also from the analytics that you've been sending us and that we've been using to tweak pretty much everything in the game. And that is exactly how it should be. This is how early access works. As you play the game, we get the data that we need to improve it. We keep on releasing updates like the one that we're going to release in the very near future. Not today, but in the very near future. And at the same time, we also continue working on the actual game, which one day is going to materialize, but we still have a lot of work, obviously. So with all of that said, we're going to go start and chat with David, head of production. He is going to explain to us everything that's in patch 4 except one big thing. But we'll chat about that later too. So let's move on. Head over to David. I'm going to take my little screen here and try not to fall.
So he can actually move this time. That's
just
nice.
not suited armor. And we'll head over.
All right.
And
Well, hopefully they get his audio issues sorted out. Sounds like,
hello, David.
I mean, there's so much good
meeting
stuff
you
coming,
here.
sounds like.
It's the video.
It's a what?
It's Davidian. It's my tiefling name.
Sorry, Davidian. I'm sorry, Davidian. I'm not going to call you David anymore. And so, our corona-proof campsite here. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
How's it going?
I'm fine. I'm a happy camper in my camp.
All right, I just said that so you could make that joke.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy
All right,
camper.
We've been chatting before we started on this
It's
panel.
adorable.
And so you lost a dice roll.
Yeah.
And so as a result, you're not allowed to talk about the very big thing that contains many things, but you're allowed to talk about every single thing that is not the very big thing in patch 4. So tell us what's new.
Well, so I did lose the dice roll, so I cannot talk about the thing with all the other big things. But I have another big thing, and that's like every other change that we did apart from the big thing.
There you go.
Because apart from the big thing, there's an entire team working on lots and lots of stuff. So let's talk about that too, shall we?
Wow,
I
things and
can
stuff.
Keep on going.
Yes. So
Okay, so
go ahead. Start.
The first thing I want to talk about, speaking of dice rolls, is we're introducing loaded dice.
What is a loaded dice?
What is a loaded dice? So, if you're playing tabletop, right? Throwing a natural one once in a while is just funny.
I can do this. They gave me a button to do this. See? That is a natural one.
Yeah. So if this happens, your friends are gonna make fun of you, and everyone's laughing. But
Let
if
me do
this
it again.
happens, okay, it won't be a one again, will it?
It will because I pressed the 1.
Then stop pressing the one. Anyway, if this keeps on happening in a video game, you get frustrated because the thing in the user interface has a 5% chance to hit. And if you miss 2 times in a row,
3 times.
or 3 times, you stop believing that and you get frustrated. So we now introduced an option, it is an option, where you can turn on loaded dice, and that is going to start turning luck your way.
Okay, so
It's going to start your luck.
So it's going to give you a little extra on the dice if it sees that it's really going badly, and then it's going to give you, like, for instance, something like this, right? It's an 11.
It's already better. So what it does is it just remembers that you already missed
So
one.
their audio is
85%
super choppy right now.
Yeah, so they're talking
It's
about
not
how
going to
basically,
do that.
they've got.
yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah, go
There's
ahead and explain.
So basically, they're making it so that if you're rolling consecutive
So,
ones and you're having a really bad time of
We had loaded
it,
dice.
they're gonna make it so
Remember
that
the
you
speed
can
of the death
basically
spell?
pick when and
Yeah, I do
where
this, or,
to
go to,
boost your
combat
dice to make it
position,
always
so
roll
you
higher
make
than
it possible in the game to kill pretty much every single
basically
protagonist.
the lowest
And so,
rung that you can get.
There's a problem with my microphone, apparently. All right.
Yeah. Yes, Ev. It's a terrible
Well,
microphone.
it's not just his mic. The other guy was choppy too. And what is with the cow?
Yeah, wait.
I don't know.
It's a distraction.
alright.
It's a bovine.
So the thing that I'm worried, and I really hope they understand, is that you can feed a cow to death, and I haven't seen them stop feeding the cow since they started, and so I really, 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 really hope that they know to not overfeed the cow.
I'm sure they have somebody on set there who knows
I really
what's
hope
going
so.
on with the cow. Yeah.
Because they're throwing a handful of grain to the cow like every time, every like few seconds, and it's like that's great and all, but again, you can feed a cow to death. Please don't do that. I'm gonna tweet at them. Hopefully, hopefully they'll pick it up.
Notional joined just in time for the cow discussion. Welcome. We don't know what the deal is with the cow. There's a cow in their studio. It's live on camera there. They're currently fixing some audio issues. So let's talk about what we heard there, though. So patch 4 is going to have some massive, massive things, including one very, very, yeah, Darkness says, audio budget spent on cow. Worth it. Worth it. So there's one super awesome thing apparently they're going to be announcing from patch 4. And they rolled some dice to pick who got to
This is exactly
who got
what
to
happens
announce
when
it.
you roll too many ones, things like this start happening. So my mic broke, and so we're now using a boom mic, so there's thing floating in the air. And
But their
hopefully
audio
it's gonna
is
pick up
still-
all of our voice. So we were talking about Speak with the Dead. Speak with the Dead microphone, for instance, was a really good thing to do. Speak with that. Tell me, what did we do?
So we already had the spell and we already had dialogues on corpses that you could talk to, obviously.
Yeah.
But we improved it. So first of all, the highlight was improved, so you can very easily spot the corpses that you can talk to. But that's not all. We wrote extra dialogues for Speak with the Dead corpses that were not there before, but that's not all. We gave them sound effects so that they really sound gruesome, that they really sound like a corpse, and then we added VFX on top of that. And as if that was not enough, we are making cutscenes, or we have made cutscenes for all of the Speak with the Dead instances that we have.
So that was something that was still work in progress when we launched on early access, and now you actually have the cinematics that go with it. All right, good. Can you remind people how Speak with Dead works, like what it is?
When you cast a spell, and there's a spoiler in there somewhere, it's easy to get even at level 1, but I won't say how. If you do cast a spell, you see all the corpses that have something to say actually light up.
Yeah, and then you can ask them questions. They do need to have a mouth, right?
Yeah, so they do need to have a mouth, otherwise they cannot pronounce the words. And then you get a limited couple of questions that you can ask them.
Yeah, and when we started making the game, actually, at some point we were thinking about how we're going to implement it. And so the initial idea was actually to decapitate everybody so that we wouldn't have to do it. Because I normally, yeah, it would also have been pretty cheap, so now we just did it across the board for many, many NPCs. Not all NPCs, though. The ones that don't highlight, they don't have to speak with that cinematic, right?
No.
Okay.
But you couldn't do everyone, because not everyone has something interesting to say.
That's a value judgment there.
In real life.
Anyway, so if you go further, what else do you have on your list?
Go for it. Oh, speaking of cinematics, we kept on improving cinematics. We had Speak with the Dead, and we said, why not everything? So it started with lighting. We have someone working on lighting, and just changing lighting and settings of lighting can completely change the atmosphere of
I think we have a video of that. Is that playing? Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah.
So you see basically the before and after here of what it looks like when the lighting team has gone over something, and it really does make a big difference.
Yeah, but it didn't end there, because while they were at it, they animated animals that appeared in cutscenes better. They changed camera angles, they changed positions, like they just improved cutscenes. They even made cutscenes where there were no cutscenes before.
Did you know that there's about 25,000 cinematic notes like this in the early access version?
Yeah, I looked up that number.
And that, but I mean, this is just the Act 1 content, right? So there's still all the other stuff that we're making that is being done.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, it is vastly insane. Okay, so what else do you have?
Well, so I have a list, right? Because
Yes,
you
I see
said
that.
you can talk about everything, but not the thing.
I like
So
the way
made a
you got your list also. I'm standing here like with high tech, and I like your way more, I have to say.
It's a list. I'm old
Yeah.
school. So one of the things that I wrote down here is you can use a torch a lot easier right now.
What's wrong with the old way of using a torch?
The old way of using a torch was really a hassle. You had to click probably 12 times before you finally had a torch in your hand.
I did that on the previous panel, and so I needed to cast the fire surface, but with my cantrip, which I can't do anymore because they removed the surfaces from cantrips. So now I needed to lit a torch. Well, then I had a torch, or maybe a candle. Anyway, I needed a source of fire, right? And I needed to put a source of fire on a source of fire to put my torch in, and then I had to equip my torch. Then, right, this is the thing you improved.
Yeah, so right now, if you find the torch, you click it to pick
So
it
yeah,
up. It picks
like
up
the
and it
Twitter post,
automatically adds a
Twitter
torch icon to
tweet
your
what I
hotbar.
did. If you want to
click
save
on
the
that
cow,
torch icon on your
just,
hotbar, it swaps your
yeah.
weapon immediately, and it lights up immediately.
I'm sure the cow
if you
is
click the
fine.
button again, it unequips the torch and re-equips the weapon that you have.
I'm really
That's
worried
what
about
we
the
call
cow.
a quality of life improvement.
Yeah,
Is there a
so
flint
it's-
actually?
Well, let's say there's a hidden flint, because you can automatically...
Secret flint.
Yeah.
You remember Flint from Dragonlance?
I do.
Okay, good. Anyway, what else do you have?
You can now target portraits.
Why would you want to target a portrait?
What do you mean?
Well,
You can target a
a portrait like the Madonna.
No. I mean, I gotta explain it to you. So you can cast spells in this game, right? It's a fantasy.
You're gonna cast a
RPG.
spell
You
at
can
the
cast
portrait.
magic spells, and when you click on the button, you used to have to find the character that you wanted to heal or bless or curse or whatever. You can now just click a party portrait in the user interface.
All right.
That's what I mean by you can target.
Okay,
portraits.
so that sounds like a basic necessity of life. So
Yeah,
that's good.
so-
That's
so
added.
They had that
So
in
we added
Baldur's
that
Gate
in
2.
Pathfinder.
Okay, good,
It's very
good.
handy.
What else?
We improved multiplayer a lot. So
I'm sure a lot of people who are going to be happy about that.
we keep on improving multiplayer. So we're working on making the connection more stable, finding a party more easier. You can actually see each other's inventories and stats right now in multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, so you can steal each other's shit, right?
Or talk to each other, like, what do you need?
Yes,
I want to
of
help
course.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're playing with your friends.
But that's good, actually. It's nice to be able to strategize and tell the other player, like, do this, do that, do that. And then the other player obviously listens.
Obviously. I always do. Speaking of listening, we added the fleeing mechanic.
Okay.
Like, if it's not going your way, you have a safe distance from the enemy. We added a flee button. You can now flee from combat so that you don't die every time that you know, like, we're not gonna make it.
Okay, and so is it like the party that can flee? Or so if I press the flee button, we all flee when we're playing together? Or?
No, it's individual. So I flee and I abandon you completely. Well, I mean,
you tactically retreat yourself to regroup and think and strategize on how you're going to come and resurrect your buddy, right?
Yes, resurrect my buddy.
Yeah, okay.
Sure, yeah.
And so when you flee, I think it's you go to camp then when you flee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. That's cool. I like that. You have more?
Yeah. Patch 4 is going to be the last really big patch because.
What do you mean it's the last big patch?
Are...
I just told people there were going to be many more big patches.
I mean a big download. Every patch that we do, even if it's a tiny hotfix, you have to download dozens and dozens of gigabytes. And we're looking into that system. We looked into that system. We improved it. So from now on, all of the subsequent patches are going to be smaller.
Okay. So didn't you announce that once before?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. But we keep on improving the system.
Cows rubbing the tree.
So now you're good to show.
Yeah. Now
she's gonna knock it over.
Now it works.
And didn't they say it worked last time?
No.
So why did we announce it?
I don't know.
Right. So I guess something happened as we were doing it. Anyway, all right. So you don't need to go to your internet provider
scratchy behind the ear. That's all.
Like after you downloaded a Baldur's Gate 3 patch, except this one last time.
Yeah, we
One
don't
last
know.
time.
We don't know yet what the size will be of patch.
Yeah, because we're still like doing the final tweaks to it, and it's still in QA right now, right?
Yep.
But it's nearly ready. It's nearly ready. All right. So what else do you have?
I have lots and lots, and I won't list them all. The list is long enough. Lots and lots of user interface improvements. We reskinned all of them, I think.
No,
so
not
they
all
don't
of them.
just not all of them.
No, not all of them.
Reskinned, they just look better. One really big one that you'll notice is the options UI. It's completely different.
David, nobody goes to the options UI.
Well,
Like,
people
don't we have another UI that you can talk about?
change video. The container interface.
That's one. I've seen it.
Sam gets so bored with
You can sort
like
them all on value.
the mundane stuff.
All right, and there was also another button in there, so that you can now access
You
your
can now
inventory
easily
directly.
access your inventory that opens up in a window on screen, so that you can drag items in between.
I think I'll show that on my live stream. That'll
It's really
make
cool.
it clearer. All right, so what else?
What else? Where are we? Okay, we improved pathfinding.
Again?
But we can keep on improving pathfinding. This time around other characters and more specifically around the village mill.
You improved the pathfinding specifically around the village mill.
The community said you cannot find your path around the village mill.
All right, okay. I guess we're going to blame Edgar again, right?
We have been doing so for the last 10 years.
Yeah, okay.
We probably don't use any of his code anymore, but yeah.
No. Edgar was our very, very good gameplay programmer who is still with us today, and we've been annoying him forever
About
because he was the
pathfinding.
one that started on the pathfinding going on day one. I mean, like, and it's not a simple problem, and he doesn't have anything to do with it anymore, to be fair also.
No.
So it's not fair to blame him anymore.
I'm sure he wants to.
I think so too. I think he likes it. So
Yeah.
we'll just keep on doing it. All right, what else do you have?
Git have proper Git weapons.
Good for the GIF, I would say.
Yes. Maybe good
Why
for
would I
you if
care?
you can grab one. That's why you care.
Because I can steal them from the GIF.
You could. You can
Okay,
try.
that's a pretty hard fight. Okay, fair enough. Okay, what else do you have?
The Flaming Fist now have a shield with their coat of arms on it.
Let me guess.
It's an important detail.
It's a fist.
How did you know?
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I actually didn't check, so I don't know what it is. All right, okay, all right. So do you have anything else but cosmetic things? I mean, because you're going on cosmetic things here. I know you want to talk about the big thing, but you can't. So what else do you have?
If you have a condition in combat, you can now go to the combat log and mouse over that condition to get more information about it.
Okay, so this is cool because like understanding what's happening under the hood is important, and this is part of an entire list of things that we're going to be doing to make it that clearer to players. Okay, what just happened if there was a complete interchange or interaction of rules.
Yeah, so we are gradually improving feedback and all of the rules, etc. So
Okay,
this is
all right.
step one.
Yeah, okay, good. What else do you have?
So you're interested in...
We're going to have
in a lot
to
of
start
these
accelerating a bit, then, but
okay. But in that
what are you
case,
doing?
well, I started printing this list before you came, and I stopped because it's a huge racket, obviously. But I'm not going to get there, and I'm going to keep on printing. So, if you're interested in that type of stuff,
man.
the players can now disable traps by double-clicking on them if they have a trap disarm toolkit.
So Ollie agrees with me, guys. He sent a super chat. Says, guys, I think the cow is being held against her will. Look at her eyes. She wants us to help her save. On a side note, she would also make a fine hamburger. Yes, I agree. I just want cows to be retired at a proper age.
Why would it?
Okay.
Metal doors are no longer
Oh, the
vulnerable
Twitch
to
chat
attack.
is going crazy for the cow. They're like, bring back the cow.
Bring back the
Rip
cow.
On targets. I don't know what the
The cow has stopped eating, so you know, I think she'll be
blocked by
okay.
terrain. We allow dash to actually double stack. We remove
Yes,
the
a dot
cooldown
matrix
from dash
printer.
and disengage,
Those
which
things.
both electrifies the surface of the
Man.
target. If
They used to make
they're
graphics
standing
in paint
on top, of course.
and print them on
Your
a dot
warlock can
matrix,
no
and it was
longer
horrible.
use armor of shadows if they already have.
I
an
have so much fun ripping those side.
I don't know.
Pieces
Players can no
off.
longer summon a companion or a familiar on top of another character.
You good?
If you found the ring Sunwalker's
even hear what
gift,
they're saying now
you know
over
that
the
one,
noise
it
of
now
the printer.
gives you dark vision. An arcane ward now gets 3 times the wizard level plus the intelligence
okay.
modifier
Oh,
to your
God.
temporary HP. The hook horror can now be silenced.
Silence is a really good term right now. So I'm just going to get over there. We have more stuff to talk about. So as we
They needed
just
an audio
move
engineer
over,
on this.
And thank you very much, David, for this very clear update.
Unfortunately.
I know that
This
you
is
couldn't
funny,
talk
he's
about
just going
what you
on
wanted
and
to
on.
talk about. We're going to head over.
It actually uses
He's just still reading the list. That's fantastic.
I enjoy the cosplay that they're doing. Pretty great.
It's just reading and reading and reading.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm going back to the table. Have fun at your campfire and your dot printer.
We good?
So yeah, tons of
All right.
improvements, quality of
Good.
life things.
Sorry about that. Now that my mic is gone, I'm dependent on the boom thing following me. You could hear we've done a whole bunch of changes that have nothing to do with the big thing that we're announcing today, which we'll do together with Jeremy and Nick in just a bit. It is a reflection of the amount of work that goes into Baldur's Gate 3. This patch log is, for us, has been very large because we had put a lot of effort in getting it to you, and that's also why it's a little bit later than we had originally hoped. And it reflects probably the biggest challenge that we have with Baldur's Gate 3. This game is very big. We wanted to make it very good, but it's taking a lot more effort than we originally anticipated. When we started on it in 2017, our team consisted of 112 people, and we thought that was a very big number back then. But now we grew to 4 studios spanning 300 people and still growing, and it's just a monster that needs to be fed. Last year we announced that we had a studio that we opened in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. We did this so that we were finally going to be able to do 24 hours development, which was important for a developer like us that works on these very big RPGs, because it means now that if we have somebody in QA that starts in the morning on Monday in Kuala Lumpur on testing Baldur's Gate 3 according to one particular critical path, and he's going to spend 120 hours on the game, instead of having to spend 3 weeks on testing the game, he can now have the results of his critical path at the end of the week by passing on his save games to his colleagues in St. Petersburg and so forth, all the way to his colleagues in Quebec. So that's a big thing, and it allowed us to accelerate this incredible, massive game as development. But even that wasn't enough. I like to say that every single game that you make has a certain language that you need to learn as a developer, and once you learn the language and you can speak it, the game writes itself. This is the case now for Baldur's Gate 3. I think our team knows exactly what they're doing. They know exactly which language to speak to it. Unfortunately, it happens to be a game that is based on 40 years of D&D, and so the grammar that it uses and the vocabulary that it uses is insanely large, and so we had to adapt to that. And so to do that, we started knocking on the door of other teams to assist us to help us with making this monster that is Baldur's Gate 3. Good monster, but still a monster. And one of the teams that's been helping us already for a couple of years is the team at Turbulence. And I have here today with us the studio head of Turbulence, James Olsen. James, can you hear me? I cannot hear you, James.
Oh my goodness, now he's muted.
And I didn't get that. Could you repeat that for me, please?
I said, hello, Sven, this is Guildford calling.
All right, good. I'm happy to hear that Guildford is calling. So, James, we have a... welcome first to the panel of hell. We have an important announcement to make today. I'll let you make it.
So today we're announcing that we are creating a new and shiny Larian Studio in Guildford.
Okay. This is a very good thing because the team that James has is incredibly experienced, and so we'll talk a bit about that in a second. But before we continue, James, can you explain, people, there must be people out there like me who are geographically challenged. So can you explain exactly where Guildford is?
So Guildford is a town just outside of London, in the southeast of England, and which is now just outside of the EU.
Okay. I noticed on that map there that you guys pushed the Irish a little bit into the Atlantic there. That's not very nice of you. But anyway, why would one start a studio in Guildford? I mean, like, what's good about Guildford? Is it pastries? Is it what?
Well, Guildford is infamous.
It's not going to be the beer, that's for sure. But
no. Well, Guildford is infamous for over 30 years of game development. And the town is filled with small and large game studios, and it has thousands of talented developers working there. And the area is also surrounded by universities and art colleges that are filled with the next generation of developers. So Guildford is a hub of creativity in game development in the UK.
Okay, cool. Can you tell me a little bit about the team? Like, when we started working with you, we worked with half of your team. And so that was such a pleasurable experience that we wanted more, hence why we're sitting here today. But can you tell me a little bit about your team?
Sure, so we're a super experienced team. We counted up recently and we have over 350 years of professional game development experience. We've worked in big studios and small studios and across all the platforms that games are made on over the last 25 years. We've expanded the team. So we started out with 10 people supporting Baldur's Gate. It's doubled since we started. And most recently, we've expanded our animation expertise to bring people in from the movie industry. We have people who've worked on Star Wars, on Avengers, Ready Player One, and even Lord of the Rings.
All right, so there's at least some good movies that they worked on in there. I shouldn't say that. Value judgment can't do that. Anyway, so you guys have been working on BG3 for some time. So what parts of the game did you contribute to?
So we've been contributing since the start of 2019. We've worked on the rendering engine, on the IK that's in the game. We've worked on the GUI. We worked on the gameplay, did lots of stuff on follow to jump or something like that, and we've worked on all the online services that are in Baldur's Gate, and we've also spent a lot of time working on the animation and the cinematics.
Okay, so now the plan is we're going to grow, we're going to start recruiting there, and you're going to double the team that you have right now?
Yep, the plan is to double the team that we have in Guildford and continue expanding and bringing additional talent to the studio to help make Baldur's Gate an amazing success.
All right, super. Well, we are super happy that you guys decided to join us. You were a pleasure to work with in the past, so I'm sure you're going to be a pleasure to work with in the future. Your expertise is super valued. We have our HR
I'm so distracted by the attitude that Cow is giving the tiefling lady.
Like, well, if you're going to add another studio and we
She's
need
like, be my
there,
friend.
you're going to have to
Like, no.
give us a little help. And so they convinced us to put in a small video during our panel.
I think they
We're going to show
are.
it to you now as we prepare
they're
for the big
subtly
reveal of the big thing
big
that contains
announcement,
many things and that we
which,
couldn't talk
my
about just
prediction now,
with Jeremy and with Nick.
The big
so
thing
in this video,
in
you're going to
update
see
4
or
is going to be
meet
you
some
can
of the
pet
people
the
that
cow.
are working on Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes,
And
pet
they'll,
the cow.
tell you
How long
why
can you pet the
it
cow?
is a
No
cool
one
thing,
knows.
to
Just
work
try.
on, why it's cool to work at Larian.
Pet the
And
cow.
should you be a developer watching, be sure to check out the jobs page at Larian.com. We have many openings, and we will soon, I don't know if they're on there already, we will soon be putting up the entire Guildford batch. All right, thank you very much, James. We'll cut to the video now, and we're going to get ready for the big thing that
Yeah, the
contains
cow
many
is
things
saying,
revealed.
lady, you got more horns than I do.
My microphone detected. Perfect. Let's go.
I'm a character artist.
I'm a senior cinematic animator.
I'm a senior animator.
The associate lead for cinematic programming.
Quality assurance engineer.
I'm the world building director.
I'm a VFX artist.
I'm a character artist.
I'm an animator.
I'm a technical artist.
I'm the community specialist.
I love the atmosphere.
Amazing people on amazing games.
I'm proud to belong to a team that trusts each other.
We're passionate. We're driven.
You get to actually have creative input.
You know, we try to build something that is really from the heart.
There's always something new to discover.
One big, happy team.
We really try to really convey what makes us love video games.
There's really not anything like Larian out there.
We all love what we're doing here.
Every day is like going on a D&D adventure.
I think people are really encouraged to be themselves.
It's always something changing, always something going on.
This is a company that is making stuff for nerds by nerds, which is great because I am one.
The team feels like a real family and the culture is just open to individuality.
You just try to create something cool and unique together.
I get to see your memes, your fan art.
Having that spark of creativity flow and have a hand in that, that's really a fun way to spend your day.
My favourite thing has to be watching all of the origin characters be written.
Seeing fans interact with it, you know, make comics about it, make memes about it, just all sorts of that community interaction is just so great to see.
If I had to say one best thing about working on Baldur's Gate 3, would probably be working on Baldur's Gate 3.
Knowing that somehow the work you're doing is going to make so many people happy is amazing.
Being able to create the world and convince to people that this is a real living, breathing world through sound.
It's got dungeons, it's got dragons, it's really cool.
The fact that it's one of the best RPGs on the planet.
The subject matter is so interesting.
The creativity that gets poured into it.
Well, for me, it's really visually very beautiful. It creates a really rich and varied experience for the user.
Working on what's going to be the greatest RPG of all time.
I discovered the world of Dungeons & Dragons working on BG3, and I don't know why I didn't know that before. That's the best thing ever.
Make something that people enjoy playing and that makes them feel something.
Being able to give them this experience that they can enjoy wherever, whenever, and with whomever they like, that's only something I can be really proud of.
Working on Baldur's Gate 3 is huge.
I used to play Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 with my brother when I was a little kid, so being part of the development is kind of like a dream come true.
And being able to resurrect such a beloved franchise for a new generation feels like an honor.
Well, obviously the fact that I get to see you guys being horny on main all day, every day.
Excellence.
Team.
Absolutely.
Did you just
fun.
say
family?
Horny on main?
Team.
Yeah.
Wizards. Adaptable.
Big love.
Team. A dream come true.
Pretty awesome.
Friends.
Home.
Expressive.
Inspiring.
Family.
Unconventional.
Team. Unique.
Awesome.
Whimsical.
Weird. In a good way, though. Not,
Truly chaotic. Good.
Bold.
Eidetic. That's a nice fancy one for you. Spent ages Googling it.
Oh. Perfectionist.
Fun.
Ambitious.
True gamers.
Maeve, yeah, that's probably what she meant.
Joyful, creatively fulfilling.
That's probably what she said.
Entertaining.
I just didn't hear it properly.
Dynamic. Fearless.
Family.
Irreplaceable.
Masters.
Positive.
Pure culture.
Passionate.
Passion.
Passionate.
Passionate.
Passion.
Passionate.
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 Passionate?
Supercalifragilistic expialidocious.
Doggy, no. You want to be in the video?
I don't think this would be a good idea to do it outside in winter.
I just pressed the record button with my nose because I've got gloves on.
Look at this little mind flare.
RPG Hall of Fame, baby.
By the way, I think I improved the audio. I think I got the stream a lot louder.
Yeah, so
it should be with better balance
an
now.
Awesome bunch, and you can rest assured they put all of their passion into making BG3 as good as they can get it. So it won't be for lack of passion that this game is, well, it will succeed. I mean, what am I saying? Anyway, we're gonna move over. We're gonna, actually, it's Nick. Nick, can you stop eating the grass and come over, please? Nick, is he coming?
Agreed, Islington girl. The mitted mind flayer is best.
Oh.
Okay, that was
that's
cool.
What they were doing with the cow.
So the cow was not live?
No, the cow is live.
That part wasn't.
Oh. I think we lost Nick in the transformation there. What's happening? We lost him? Oh, there he is. Okay. No. Hi. You got a camera problem.
I love how much effort they put into this.
Yes.
Hilarious.
It's really too
so
bad.
It's so much effort.
It is really too bad they're having all these technical issues because it's.
Still entertaining.
Oh, it is. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's a little cringy, but it's like fun cringy.
Right.
He's coming.
Well, I imagine like the need for social distancing and stuff is probably really making it very difficult.
What can I say? Right. Technology and magic doesn't work together.
All right, Nick, very happy to hear. We need Jeremy on board also. Where's Jeremy? Can we see Jeremy? You get him to join?
Larian cursed.
Hey, we are cursed. Looks like our life measures. Jeremy, can you hear us, Jeremy? Look, we got Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy from Seattle.
Hi there.
Okay.
I am amazed by your transformation, Nick.
Yeah, he's been working on it very hard and studying very hard, especially.
Right.
So we are here together to announce the next big class in Baldur's Gate 3, and that is?
The Druid, of course.
Of course. I mean, like as if the cow was not a dead giveaway. So, Jeremy, you are the principal rules designers at Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast. At Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons & Dragons, I should say, probably. Can you explain to us why we're making such a big deal about the Druid?
So the Druid is one of the classes that has been in Dungeons & Dragons going all the way back to the game's early days in the 1970s. This class brings together an amazing set of abilities all themed around the forces of nature. Druids are members of an ancient order that channels the powers of nature, weather, fire and ice, lightning. They're able to talk to animals. They're able to heal their friends by channeling the forces of life that are around them. And on top of all of this, they're able to become one with nature by using their wild shape ability to transform into animals like the cow that you just were, Nick. Druids also, on top of all of that, order themselves into these special orders that are called circles. And so they have specializations like all D&D classes do. And the two main specializations for Druids are the Circle of the Land and the Circle of the Moon, with the Circle of the Land emphasizing the nature magic of Druids and the Circle of the Moon emphasizing that animal transformation ability, wild shape, that all Druids share. Druids also are really special in D&D because of their versatility. They have a little bit of everything. They have weapon ability, they've got light armor, they have healing magic, they have destructive magic, they can turn into animals and get around all sorts of problems that might be a blocker for other characters. When we designed this class for 5th edition D&D, and when we designed all of the classes, we had Venn diagrams for the classes, and the Druid was right at the meeting point between the wizard and the cleric. And so if you think of the versatility and destructive ability of the wizard combined with the healing and buffing of the cleric, and then throw in a dash of nature magic and animal transformation, you see the wonder that is the Druid class.
I would almost say that it's like a classless class in a class-based game.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. All right, so Nick, so you were the man in charge together with your team of figuring out how we're going to bring the Druid into Baldur's Gate 3.
Indeed.
So what did you do? Like, well, maybe we can start with Wild Shape. So tell me about Wild Shape.
So Wild Shape is, of course, the start of a show. It's the ability of the Druid to turn into a beast and utilize beast powers. We picked 7 forms for you to turn into, 6 beasts and 1...
Currently in early access, right?
Yes, currently, just for the early access content to whet your appetite. Such forms as the giant badger that can burrow into the ground.
Can you show that? I think you have a video of that.
I was about to, but it seems like my magic panel...
oh, your magic panel is not working?
Died. I'm gonna press a button and I hope something happens.
No, maybe we should get tech support here. Maybe we'll just break out for a second to technical, and
we have some cool clips for you.
Of course, nothing works because it is Larian Studios, and then whenever we do something, everything breaks.
Okay, tech support time. They've got to fix their magic. So, I didn't quite catch. Was the Druid class, was that the big announcement for patch 4?
Possibly, because they are revamping the Druid, or the Druid class has been revamped since like older editions of the game. So this is kind of them like revamping or bringing about the new changes in from 5e into here now with this. So
okay,
yeah, that's quite possibly what they're doing.
I wasn't sure if that was, because that's a very cool announcement. New class they're bringing into the game, into early access, and you're going to have a variety of beasts you can transform into if you choose to play in that class, and there will be even more when the full game releases. This game is just starting to, like he said, it's a beast near the beginning, or a monster, he said. That's what Sven said, and wow, like, for sure. There's just so much to this, wow. So, yeah, anyway, I wasn't 100% clear on whether or not that is the big thing that they are kind of...
I suspect so. This might mean that we're only getting one new class in this patch, and that being the Druid class. We may not be getting additional classes, which is really too bad because I was really, 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 really hoping for the Paladin. But they might be doing only doing like the major patch updates like this one, and then we're gonna have a couple other ones out before they introduce the Paladin class. So we're looking at a new class added every 3 to 4 months. Appears to be kind of what they're going for, I think. So.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Markov Chains says the new studio was big. That was a big announcement. And they have... so they're growing and expanding, and that they've set themselves up so that they can have a 24-hour development cycle. That's pretty impressive. I think that explains a lot of how they're getting this stuff done so efficiently. And so that'll be great that they can they can pass off their work to the next team at the end of their work day, and then when it comes back around again, it's just the cycle keeps going. So especially for things like QA, that'll be huge. All right, looks like we're going back now.
We are back at sea.
Just to follow up on the Druid thing, it makes sense why that would be one of the bigger updates because of having to animate the different forms.
Okay, so we're talking, we were going to see the
Giant Badger, I believe.
Yeah. Here we go.
So let's see some Giant Badger action.
This is a multiplayer, it looks like.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Druids? Yeah, okay.
It's a really good form to sneak around, to burrow around your enemies, locked passages.
Oh, they can burrow.
That's a teleport.
It is. It is kind of a teleport, and then you knock down.
All of a sudden, Giant Badger is what I need to be.
You can go through doors also?
Yeah, Badgers are kind of badass. I don't know if you know
can
that,
really
but
do
they
some damage with
they,
that.
they are not something you do not want to try and
for example,
fight
you
a
can turn
badger
into
if you can avoid it.
spider, of course.
Ooh, spider.
Arachnophobia alert, sorry.
Oh, arachnophobia alert.
Spider form, nice.
There is a spider
sorry.
It's going to be there for 2 minutes. We will give you a cue when it's gone. I'm sorry.
Still up.
Nick.
Yeah, so you weave
Seriously,
webs and
arachnophobia.
control
I mean,
your
you
enemies
laugh,
with it.
but it's
Oh,
a
yeah. I
serious
remember we showed this on the last
problem
battle
for a
from
lot
hell,
of people.
and I had to rush to survive with that thing. That's actually cool. And you're webbing with it also.
Yeah, you can create webs, and other spiders won't attack you, I believe.
Okay, so the druid is versatile, Jeremy just mentioned. I know that you had a question about this that popped up during development, and you were afraid to ask him.
Yes, indeed. It's an interesting thing, but we're working on these spells and actions that the druid has, which we're adding about 30. And something that was interesting about D&D version of the druid is that how comfortable the druid feels with fire magic. So the druid can, for example, create a flaming blade and just burn an enemy into crisp. So the question would be, Jeremy, how come druids are so comfortable with the destructive element?
So that gets to one of those core elements of the druid of being so connected to nature that they're connected not only to the life-giving aspects of nature, but also to the destructive aspects of nature. And fire is one of the most destructive forces that you can face in the natural world. But it's also often a life-giving force, because we know in our world that a healthy forest often relies on controlled burns or limited burns for the forest to truly thrive. So druids are tapping into that force, as they do with so many other natural forces. But there's also a mythological angle to it. The druid, in its early conception in Dungeons and Dragons, owed a lot of its identity to various things that druids do in Irish folklore. And one of the things that druids do occasionally in Irish folklore is call fire down upon their enemies. And you see this in the tabletop RPG with druids eventually getting the firestorm spell, which is actually a direct nod to an event in Irish folklore where a group of druids calls down a rain of fire on an opposing army. And D&D often has this sort of thing in it, where you'll see something that's in the game and you might wonder, how the heck did this get here? And often the answer is you're looking at something that lodged in the game from ancient myth in the real world.
Well, you've got a lot of firepower. I know what you do. Don't you have a big ball of fire?
It's a big one. It's the flaming sphere. You can control it, by the way. It creates a trail of fire, and of course it burns everything and everyone.
Okay, that sounds like the kind of thing I need. I'm actually going to use this in my lifetime, and I figured out a glitch. And you got to promise me, if I show you the glitch, that you're not going to take it out.
We'll make it a roll, okay? I have a D20.
Yeah, I don't trust your dice anymore, my friend. All right, so
a loaded die, of course.
What is your favorite thing about the Druid, Nick?
I really enjoy this little cantrip they have, the Thorn Web, that you can use to pull off enemies from high places. And
oh yeah, that fight.
Yeah,
that is actually handy if you can be able to throw them down. Oh, you fell there. How the hell do you get a bullet on a beach anyway?
Whoa, that's a lot of magic involved.
Yeah, that was. I think that was somebody cheating to make that video, right?
It's very possible.
All right, so there's much more being added. Like one of the things that I thought was like when you explain it to me is underwhelming is the Goodberry. But then I'm told that the Goodberry is like a favorite and it's like considered overpowered. Is that correct, Jeremy?
So Goodberry is loved in the tabletop game, partly just because of the flavor, pun intended, of this delicious berry that you get to eat that not only heals you, but also fills you up as if you had just eaten, enough food for the day. So there's just this enchanting narrative component to it. It's a bit like lembas bread from the Lord of the Rings. You nibble this thing, it's like, whew, I'm good on food for the day. Now, in the tabletop game, Goodberry can be extremely powerful if you multi-class. So if you are a druid and you're a cleric who's a cleric of life, clerics of life are able to boost the effectiveness of Goodberry to a level that is extraordinary.
That's pretty much what QA have been telling me also. Like it's overpowered, gotta go down on the good berry. Speaking of combinations, actually, we changed the rules slightly on how.
Somebody clip that.
Right?
Yes, indeed.
Gotta go
so
down on
we
the
were
good berry.
messing around with it, and we thought that it's really cool to go from one shape to another during the combat. So we made dismissing a shape free. And so if you're a druid of a circle of a moon that focuses on wild shapes, you can dismiss a shape for free and then use your bonus action to take a new shape.
So that means if I am like my favorite form, polar bear. Well, actually, no. Let's say that I'm a bird, and which allows me to fly over large distances, like so. And then in the same turn, I could turn my bird into a bear. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, you can fly down behind the enemies, turn into a bear, roar, get their attention. So you can combo these forms.
Do you have a video of a bear? Because it's just the polar bear is just insanely cool.
Let's try the bear.
There we go.
Oh yes.
This bear is going to be specific or unique for moon druids.
Okay, all right. This is polar bear, so everybody's going to play circle of the moon.
Polar bear immune to ice attacks, I wonder?
I think we made him be able to sneak as well. Oh yeah.
Look at him sneak. Just my dog sneaks like
the sneaking bear, yes.
It's ridiculous. There he's goading, right? So this is like taking all the aggro to him, which is quite handy actually if you're walking around with a bunch of puny mages like I usually do. So Jeremy, is that okay that we change the rules like that for the wild shape? Are you fine with that? For the dismissing wild shape story?
Absolutely. So often it's important for people to remember that designing for different media requires a different touch. So designing for the tabletop game is a very different beast from designing for a video game. In the tabletop game, we constrain how often a druid can wild shape and how often, how rapidly they can pop in and out of shapes for two main reasons. One, in the tabletop game, we want to make sure play doesn't bog down with too many different things happening on a particular turn, since unlike in a video game where the computer is running the game, at the tabletop, it's all humans who are running it, so we don't want things to slow down too much. But there's another factor. In the tabletop game, druids can turn into pretty much any beast they've ever seen, as long as that beast meets the criteria listed in the wild shape feature. That means that as game designers, we don't actually know what the druids in the tabletop game are going to turn into. We know broadly what the power of those animals is going to be, and that's why we've set the challenge rating limits in the tabletop game, but we don't know the exact animals they're going to turn into. And so because of the amazing liberty we provided, we had to constrain how often it could be done, just so that we wouldn't create a situation where druids were not only transforming constantly, but transforming into potentially game-breaking forms over and over again. And that is often.
So does this mean we can't turn into a Tarrasque?
If we get really generous on something that we
not in the video game, I don't think.
As we are with the shapes that you can turn into as a druid, we then tend to become much more limiting in how often we let you do it. So when you told me that in Baldur's Gate 3, some of those limitations were being lifted, it made total sense to me. A, because the computer's running it, and B, you know the exact forms people are going to be turning into. Whereas again, in the tabletop game, we don't know if the druid is turning into a dinosaur, a mouse, a giant spider, or some other fanciful beast they've encountered on one of their tabletop adventures.
Yeah, we had actually big discussions about the dinosaur, because Nick wanted to put the dinosaur in, and I had to put my foot down and say, one day we would like to ship this game, so no dinos.
Someday we'd like to release it, yeah.
But when we chatted about this in preparation for the panel, you said an interesting thing about utility value of the Druid and the Wild Shape also, which is something I would like to delve in deeper a little bit, because we also spend a lot of time on the game. But maybe start with you on utility and the Druid Wild Shape.
Don't worry,
one of the
modders will
things
add
I
the
love about
dinosaurs
the
to
Druid,
the game.
not
for
only as a
sure.
designer but as a player, when I play one, is the
Can't wait to fight a
amazing
T-Rex.
utility of wild shape. Often people who gravitate to wild shape, particularly if they're playing Circle of the Moon, they'll often think of their shapes as primarily a combat form. But I actually think wild shape's greatest value over the course of a campaign is the many different ways it can break an adventure in good ways. Because often in the tabletop game, we actually want our players to come up with clever ways to break things, and wild shape does that in spades. And I love in the video you showed that exactly with, the badger crawling, under the wall, in a normal circumstance, you might have a group of adventurers looking at a tower and like, oh my gosh, how are we going to get up there? And the druid is just like, I'll turn into a robin, fly up there, and I'm there. So the druid can create these amazing sort of unexpected tangents in how an adventure plays out, and that to me is the most exciting aspect of wild shape.
All right, we have a couple of examples of how we're doing that in the game, because we actually very much try to make wild shape part of the normal gameplay outside of combat.
Yeah,
so
we really want you to stay in your wild shape while you're exploring and look for ways to use your wild shape, such as you can turn into a cat.
Yeah, it's International Cat Day, by the way.
Oh,
so saying that, I hate cats. I'm a dog person.
Well, I'm a cat person, so we have...
I have a cat, but it's terrorized.
Ooh, go kitty.
It's just like it's terrorized with these goblins here. These goblins...
Yes.
This is a very aggressive cat, but usually a cat would be sneaking around as well. And it can meow to attract the attention of the enemies.
Yeah, that is actually pretty cool. I've used that. It's actually pretty cool just to distract enemies with your cat when it's meowing, as they do in the middle of the night, right? But you can also talk.
Yeah.
With animals, if
Indeed.
you're an animal.
So as an animal, you can talk to other animals, of course. And they will sometimes have specific responses because they recognize you as an animal. So here, for example, the player is turning into a polar bear to get the other bear let him through.
Sleepy bear.
Of course, this added a lot of work to cinematics.
So adorable.
Making sure small beasts and big beasts.
Extra lines of dialogue they added for this patch. And cinematic notes as a result of it.
Goodness,
also.
yeah, that's a ton of...
So you can talk
That's
to
a
animals.
ton of stuff they had to
you
add.
You can abuse it. Well, I'll show you how you can abuse it. I'm going to single-handedly do a dungeon that has been declared unsingle-handedly doable with my druid shape. Well, I'll try at least.
Well,
so there's one thing that I've been meaning to ask you. Well, actually, I would like you to show, Nick, because we just saw that cat
was climbing
down the ladder. But what if I'm like a huge cow with fire in my eyes? I know it's not called a cow, but I can still think of it as a cow.
It is a deep froth. It's a mythical beast from the Underdark. And of course you can climb in it because it would be silly and slow if you would have to pop in and out of your form every time.
All right.
So that was a big discussion with the animation team, of course. And
okay, that looks ridiculous, but I'll allow it.
It's like it's still a little bit buggy there, so that's one of the things we still need to fix on the ladder. But it's just awesome that you can do it. And indeed, I fully approve of the fact that we don't make you get out of your regular shape and then just jump on top of this. And my bear can also climb like this, so they all can.
The climbing down one is even better.
They can sit in a chair. You just chill out and maybe you take a screenshot. You can sit on chairs, you can lie on beds and all kinds of rock slabs that work as beds.
I don't know if that works.
This sounds pretty cool.
I don't think that works.
Because you just mentioned Druid Grove. Baldur's Gate 3, opening act, you got a Druid Grove.
Yeah.
And we stand in a Druid Grove here, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean for the game, the fact that we added the Druid class?
Well, yeah, indeed, there is big druid presence in Act 1, and of course they will recognize you as a druid, and you will have specific responses because you're a druid and you understand better what is going on, what kind of conflict that there might be going on.
Okay, and so you're going to get extra reactivity?
Yes, you'll get extra dialogue choices, and you will also get an extra storyline that ends up with you becoming the warden, the faith warden of the grove.
Faith warden.
Yes.
All right, and do you get it like a fancy staff?
Better than mine, actually, yeah.
And what's it called?
It's called Pale Oak.
Pale Oak.
Yes.
All right. Like, you know, I was talking to a member of our team yesterday, and I hadn't realized it was pale oak. I thought it was a paleoc, and so I say, what the is a paleoc? I mean,
it's very European. Paleoc, eh?
All right. Okay, cool. All right, great. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for joining us in Seattle. I hope you enjoyed our little interpretation of the Druid in Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you, Nick. Well, you're going to be sticking around with me for the gameplay demonstration, right?
Yeah,
so
I'll see that you don't break the game too hard.
No, I don't. Well, I can curse at you as we do that. So before we are going to jump to our live gameplay, we are going to have to set up a couple of machines over here. And as we're doing that, we're going to show you a little video we made, because we don't only make Baldur's Gate 3, we obviously also make Divinity Original Sin 2. And we started making board games and graphic novels. So we have a graphic novel, which is Divinity Original Sin 2, God Woken, and it's amazing. It's got pictures, because it's a graphic novel. That's what graphic novels do. They have pictures. I don't know if you can see the pictures on screen. So you can get those at the shop at larian.com on the merch store. If you read it, you will get the origins of the origin stories in Original Sin 2, so it gives you extra insight into where they come from. And the board game, which is still in production, it was kickstarted a bit over a year ago, is making good progress. Team is now on iteration 3, and they made a little video to basically give you a status update on where we stand with Divinity Original Sin 2 Kickstarter. And that is presented by none other than our own Irish Druid, who can put a rain of fire over your head, Kieran Kelly. Kieran? Yeah. Okay.
Hello everyone, it's been just over a year since we launched Divinity Original Sin, the board game, on Kickstarter. It's really been a year of changes, of improvement and iteration. There's a lot of things to cover and there's a lot of things to talk about, so let's just jump right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually the artwork for the locations and the enemies and the bosses. And when you look back at the artwork that we used for the original Kickstarter, while it was good and it was functional and it did its job, it wasn't necessarily how good we can make it, and we knew we could do better. So a lot of the work this year has been about iterating on that, changing it, reinforcing it, making it better, and making it a whole lot more immersive for you and your party that you're playing and adventuring with. So when you're at a location like this, it feels alive and it feels like it's breathing. And it's a location that's worth journeying in and enjoying as you adventure through Fort Joy. The second thing we wanted to improve was actually the miniatures for the game. We got our first molds from a manufacturer, and those molds, they were really good. There was a lot of detail with them, but actually we realized that we wanted to make some changes and improve it even further. And the way we were going to improve them further was actually not necessarily the detailing, though we definitely tweaked some of that. It was actually the animation of them. A lot of them were more static, they were a bit more lifeless and statuesque, as opposed to a living boss that's got a lot of threat to it, that's going to have a lot of presence on the table. Now, all the animation, all the movement, and the feeling of movement from these miniatures are going to make it feel like these bosses are not only there and they're present, but they're a threat. They're coming to kill you. And the third thing to actually talk about is the amount of playtesting that we've done. Obviously, during Kickstarter, we did a lot of playtesting before it. We did a lot of internal playtesting afterwards. But over this last year, we've done a lot of external playtesting. We've had 2 major playtesting groups that have played through the game. And there's been a huge amount of things that we've learned through that, from people who haven't necessarily played Divinity, to people who played Divinity, to people who play a lot of board games, to people who don't play a lot of board games. And we're getting a lot of information that's helped us refine the game, improve it, and overall just make it a better experience and a more fun experience for you, your friends, and your family. So that about does it for how we've been getting on this year. I just want to say a big thank you to the community for all the support we've gotten so far. If you're still interested in following along, you can do that on Kickstarter. We do monthly updates. Otherwise, you can still back the game on the Larian merch store. But for me over here at Fort Joy, back to Sven and Avernus. Now, how do I get off the sign off?
All right, so that was Kieran talking about Original Sin 2, the board game. And we're ready to start with our live gameplay presentation. It is a live gameplay presentation. Things will go wrong. I just don't know which things are going to go wrong. There's one particularly annoying bug in the game that is the reason why the patch has not been released yet, that is still being looked for in our QA. Well, there's actually a few of them actually, but this one is a particularly nasty one. So I might encounter it. If I encounter it, we will just pretend that we have technical glitches, but there's good chances that we are not going to have it. And I didn't encounter it that many times, but it is there. So anyway, let me present you my party. So this is Lar. It is a Lightfoot halfling, and she is a druid. Then we have Shadowheart, who most people who played the game in early access already know. Cleric, level 4 also. We have Gale, a wizard, also a level 4. And then we have Lysel, my fighter, also a level 4. And together we are going to go on a small adventure, and we're going to deal with a particularly nasty lady. So let's get in there and get our quest set up, and then from there on we're going to start showing off all things Druid. Let's get over here and see what this argument is all about.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see Mayrina.
Just let her go. Please.
You there? Please, I don't know what's come over these boys. I just want to go home.
Stop this.
Oh, my insight failed.
Ask again.
All right, so what's going on here?
Careful. Don't trust a word out of her mouth. Our sister went to the hag, and we ain't seen her since.
Hand over heart, I don't know their sister. I will gladly help you all look for her, though.
Enough. Where is she?
I could say I won't let you hurt this woman, not getting involved, or I could say, like, tell the truth, what did you do to their sister? So let's go for the last one.
Bollocks. You were supposed to rush to my defense, love. Fat lot of good you are. Some advice? You ever darken my door, you'd best have that head bowed.
Yeah, I really thought this lady was like a friendly old lady at first, and then I got to this part and I was like, oh my god, she's a hag.
An old lady, she can do this.
Ain't seen nothing like that before.
She could shoot fireworks out of her backside for all I care. The hag has Rena.
So will somebody please tell me what's going on?
It's our sister, Mayrina. She's... well... she was in a bad way after her husband died.
Started saying weird things, like how she was gonna bring him back.
Next thing, she's gone looking for the hag. Of all the stupid things to do. And we haven't seen her since. And no good ever came from dealing with a hag.
None of this matters, all right? We need to get her back, and fast.
Well, I'm the hero, so I'm gonna say, I'll bring Mayrina home.
Joking.
So you can see that I'm still not that tolerant of my mistakes.
But, Joel...
Not a chance. We're getting her back on our own. Now, come on.
It's a stupid idea, boys, but have it your way. All right, let's explore these very nice sunlit wetlands. Have a look, I mean, like how nice and cozy it is over here. You just want to go and sit on that rock and just basically,
super nice, super
lie down and
cozy.
eat an apple. I am going to do something. It's one of those new spells that was added with update 4. I'm going to enhance my abilities, and so I can choose between endurance or strength or dexterity. But I'm going to improve my intelligence. I have a good reason for this. I rehearsed this thing, so I know what's coming, and so this check is going to aid me in a check that I'm going to have to make. So let's go forward. Use my fox's cunning. So basically, what's happening now is she's concentrating on making her more intelligent. So that's pretty much it. Let's go.
A chill runs up your spine. You feel like you're being watched.
So I get a druid option here. So this option you would get if you were not a druid, or if you were just to be a fighter, investigation. And so that is actually a very hard roll to make. But if you're a druid, you get a nature option, and that's a much easier roll to make. And on top of that, unfortunately it's intelligence based because it's nature, but I do get +2 from my proficiency in nature, but I get -1 from my intelligence, which is fairly low. Luckily, I got advantage on this roll because I use my enhanced ability, and that means that I'm going to get to roll twice should I fail. So most likely, thanks to loaded dice also, I'm going to make it because probably I was unlucky before. There you go, I get 19, so that's a pretty good roll. And so I am now successful in this check, and something's gonna happen.
This took me so long to get this check done. Like every time I went through this, I
look
just
around,
couldn't
you
get
see
it
that it's
like,
not
spotted.
such a nice sunlit area. It actually is a swamp. And nothing here is what it seems, because for instance, if I'm going to click on this, this is why one of those little new container UIs that that David was talking about. So if I click on sorting options, you get a bunch of sorting options here. If I click on inventory, you can access your inventory. And if I click on eat apple, I get an upset stomach. And an upset stomach is actually a form of poison. I need to help myself now. Luckily, this is update 4, and we have protection from poison. So I'm going to get rid of that poison, and on top of it, I protect my druid from further poisoning by this evil swamp. Let's continue our journey and see if we can find a friendly soul. There's a guy with a red hat over there, so it's probably going to be nice. With a red cap.
This is one of the funniest things in the game.
Careful. That's right. I'm probably going to have a chat with this guy and like ask him like, hello, do you know the way to, I don't know, whiskey bar or something like that.
The murderous glare of a red cap, a fey creature known for its bloodlust, greets you. That noise. Is the creature pretending to be a sheep?
So this guy, if I would have failed my role and not have detected that this entire area is a swamp, I would have seen us as a sheep, and he would be pretending that he's a sheep, albeit a weird sheep. However, I have seen through the illusion of the swamp, so now I can see he's actually a murderous redcap, and that he's pretending to be a sheep. Now I can tell him, like, I know what you're doing, I can take the initiative and surprise him by attacking him, or I can just say, ba-a-a-a. And since these are dark times and it is good to be optimistic in life, we're going to say ba-a-a-a. And I would like the entire stream to also say ba-a-a-a at the same time, because it just makes you smile. See, we're going to do that again, because I'm pretty sure not everybody was into it. So here goes his ba.
Again, this creature doesn't realize you can see its true form.
And we're going to go all together now on a ba. I can't see the chat, but I hope you're ba-ing like hell right now. Ba.
Yeah, they're all buying.
Yeah.
Ba.
There we go. And we get a good ba back. Doesn't that feel good? All right, so these guys don't know that we can see them. So we're going to just keep it that way, and we're going to just get closer to the little old lady's shack. Looks like the brothers didn't make it. So let's go have a look at that. Now remember what David was saying about Speak with Dead? Gale happens to have an amulet, and this amulet gives them access to the Speak with Dead, which is a level 3 necromancy spell, and a level 3 is outside of range for my level 4 wizard. This is a complicated thing. It is a D&D thing. I have been nagging about it for centuries. I have been told there's nothing that I can do about this. It will stay like this forever. So we're trying to explain it to you, but I'm going to cast my level 3 spell with my level 4 guy using my amulet, and this is going to give me access to Speak with Dead. And indeed, as promised, we get a cinematic, an updated cinematic.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
And so I get to ask 5 questions. So we're going to ask him first and foremost, did he find your sister?
Screaming, but not real.
We are going to ask him.
Oh, it's getting a little choppy. Should clear up soon here.
Don't bring the water.
All right, and I'm going to just leave it at that. Now, David mentioned that we made it more user-friendly to be able to continue playing with Speak with Dead. You actually get to recast it on any dead body until I take a, I think it's a long rest. So I can now basically talk to his brother. And indeed, we get another cinematic. So we see that that cinematic system is now covered.
Kill the hag.
That's a pretty cool cinematic.
And this is the method that we use for when you kill everybody like an idiot, and then you don't know what to do anymore. Not that you are idiots, of course, it's up to you how you play the game and so forth. But if you kill everybody and you didn't pay attention to the story and you don't know what to do anymore, you can just go talk to their bodies and then they'll tell you what you have to do. So this guy is saying like, well, kill the hack. And that could give you a quest update if you didn't get the quest, etc., etc. So I'm gonna ask him, what drove your sister to leave?
She's scared she won't be a good mom. But she will. I know it.
Okay, and how did you plan on killing this hack?
With pitchforks. Stupid.
Well, we can agree on that.
Which wouldn't work very well.
Well, how did you die, actually?
So innocent.
Oh, and of course they're so this is definitely on their side, by the way. This is definitely they're just having a really hard time with
why
their
these brothers are dead,
video.
what's up with the sister, and what in general is going on with the swamp and the red caps that are pretending to be sheep. Alright, let's get in here. And then you see the decoration has also been, if you played it in early access on day 1 and you play it now, you see that everything is getting continuously improved. So this place is starting to look really nice. Alright, let's go in here.
I don't want a crumb left on that plate, girl.
Auntie Ethel, please. One more bite and this pie is gonna come back up to say hello.
Don't make me get the wooden spoon. You're eating for 2, so get to it. If it isn't the cheekiest pup of them all, you'd best have one hells of an apology for me, young man.
I get a wizard option because I had Gale selected, so I'm going to tell her, tell me, Hack, is this intimidation part of the bargaining process, or does that come after?
Oh, the wizard thinks he's smart because he can read. How
Many
precious.
people do.
You know, I was going to give you a swift kick up the arse and show you the door, but I think you and I could have a bit of fun together. Gods grant me patience. Eat up, Mayrina. I won't say it again.
Oh, if that is Mayrina, I have some bad news for her.
Keep that hole under your nose shut, or things will get messy.
You know what that sounds like to me? Leverage. What is it? What's going on?
So now I get the option to say, like, nothing, I mistook you for someone else, or Auntie Ethel killed your brothers. I'm going to tell her that Auntie Ethel killed her brothers.
That can't be true. Auntie Ethel.
They were being rude, and I detest rudeness.
You monster! The deal is off.
Enough, away with
Slight
you.
case of overacting there. And with a
Silence at
wave
last.
of the hand.
Some time in the cage should do her good. And you'll regret sticking your nose in my business.
Uh-oh. Hello. Alright, so I take it we're not really friends. So
pretty
we're gonna go in
hag.
combat. I'm gonna try to show you a whole bunch of druid powers in here. If I don't ruin it. So we got the hag over here. But we're also going to have to deal with the red caps who are going to be joining in a minute now. There they are. So I'm going to use my druid's ability Moonbeam, first of all, and I'm going to cast it at these two gentle fellows. So basically I now have a Moonbeam, and every turn I'm going to be able to move that beam. So the beam is going to get...
No, it's choppy again. No, no!
Big my
Right during the action
forward
part.
there because I'm circled
Yeah,
in druid.
it's been choppy a couple times in the last few.
Yeah.
Okay, perfectness. And then
Yes,
I
go
am
bear.
going to, I don't have a bonus action. Wait, hold on. I'm just going to switch to Shadow Heart now because she is first in the turn order together with the polar bear. Then it's a whole bunch of the bad guys, and then it's going to be my fighter and my wizard. Shadow Heart, I'm going to cast the blast spell on all of us, just to buff myself up. And so the blast spell, she needs to stay concentrated on it, but it gives a 1d4 bonus to the attack rolls and the saving throws. So it's basically going to give me a higher chance to hit
and a higher chance to resist whatever bad things they're going to throw at me. So I'm going to move Shadowheart over here. I don't want to throw her in combat. She's my cleric. However, you throw in combat, but you are blocked. You're blocked because the bear is bigger and he's blocked by my fighter, so that's a bit unfortunate. Okay, well, we'll just have to live with that. So, the hag is dashing up.
That hag wears her spine outside her skin. That's kind of disturbing.
Vicious mockery.
That may not be her spine. That may be somebody else's spine that they loaned to her.
Loaned,
because,
yes.
You know, they were being nice and neighborly.
Pardon. And I am going to teleport her next to those guys, just to make sure that they don't pass without my Githyanki taking a swipe at them with her attack of opportunity. And then I'm going to use Gale. I'm first going to get him out of the poison here. All right. And I am going to... I'm going to do Grease first. To try to block them. Somebody from the production team give me something to drink because of the smoke behind me. I'm getting a very sore throat. Okay. All right.
Maybe you should have a fire in a building, Sev.
I don't think it's a real fire. It's probably a smoke machine.
Oh, yeah, probably a smoke machine. Those things are nasty, especially if you have lung conditions. Oh, Lord.
Try to... Well, I'm going to smack at this guy.
If it's one of those oil ones, especially, yeah, those are so gross.
Select my Githyanki fighter. And I'm going to use accent search, which... Oh, actually... Yeah, no, I'm going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to just smack this guy. I could actually put them all on fire, but I like them being in the grease, so I'm going to keep them in grease. Just smack... Oh my god, look at that, 22. That was pretty good. And he is going to... Well, no, he's fine. Well, he's not exactly fine, but he's going to do well. Alright, so my bear is poisoned, but now it can move. I'm going to get him into combat, so I'm going to give him a dash. I'm ignoring the hag because I know exactly what she's going to be doing. She always does the same routine. So I'm going to go over there. I gotta warn you also, there will be some spoilers in this. And the bear and the Githyanki are basically going to keep these guys away. And on the next turn, I'm going to have a hold. The bear also... Hold on. My mouse is not reacting. Okay, and I'm going to do with her, I'm going to cast a guiding bolt. If I can. One of them, yeah. Perfect. And that's 26. That must have killed him. Wow. Okay, good. Alright, next turn.
Nice.
Yes? Ah, thank you, sir. Through the corona. Oh, thanks.
You know, a lot of people seem to think that, like, they don't like the, a lot of people don't like the combat of D&D because they say it's boring or it's too slow paced. It's like part of it boils down to how many things you're fighting at a time, and you know what abilities you're using. And if you're finding the combat too strong, you're typically playing with a too strong of a base character. Like I know people who like power play their character like to amazing levels. It's like try handicapping yourself by playing somebody who's not a master,
she just changed back into her
a master battle tactician and has top end armor and stuff like that. Try killing your way through a pack of monsters with a pitchfork.
Now this guy has only 13 left.
Might be a little bit different than what you're expecting. So it really comes down to like what the DM can give you and set for you, and then as well as like what you yourself are capable of, like competing within that confine. So like making a character that fits the scenario or the situation, which is why it's so nice when and it's a lot more engaging when you're playing with a GM instead of playing with just by yourself. Against an AI, but I think the AI, again, this is just an intro. It's the campaign, it's the story campaign. Once we get a GM tools in here, the gameplay is really going to kick up for those people who are looking for a challenge.
Drink. Chug.
Okay, I'll drink for plus 15, and then I'm going to just smack. That was not the bestest smacks in the world, but maybe my wizard can still do it. No, he already moves, right? Okay, well, we'll just have to survive until... Oh, well, that's great, it's her turn. Oh, this is gonna be easy. Maybe we should remove some of the poison on them. Maybe we should... I didn't put any healing spells on my bar. Smart. Pretty smart. Because these guys are going to wake up again eventually also, right?
You have a scroll, I think.
Okay. Alright. It's one that I need to be next doors to her. Alright, well, we're just going to try to kill these guys then. Okay, that's actually possible, right? Oh my god, I'm really going well here. This is going to be easy, this fight. It's gone differently, I can tell you that. Alright, we're gonna turn into a arachnophobia warning. We're gonna turn into a spider. And why am I gonna turn into a spider? Because I can... Oh no, actually we're gonna do the deep rocket, right? I'm gonna go the bull with the fiery eyes. I'm gonna ram him. Alright. There we go. And we're just gonna ram these guys. Ram it! No, that was a very disappointing ram. Alright, so you're still there. Get a bit closer. Actually, do I still have? No, I don't. Okay, you nerfed that. Okay, no worries. Up to them. But this guy, what is he doing? He's casting Bloodlust on this guy. What does Bloodlust do? Probably nothing good. Oh, he can hit 3 times?
That's a multi-attack.
It's because of the Bloodlust, right? Creature can attack 3 times. It regains 3d6 hit points if it lands a killing blow. Well, we can't allow that to happen. Alright, so 22. I'm gonna put my AC up. Alright, so that's gonna give me like a very high armor class now. 18, so 15 from armor, plus 1 from dexterity, plus 2 from the boost. And we're going to smack this guy. Oh, this is a good smack. And now, okay, he can finish her. He can probably finish it off with his magic missiles. So let's try that. Cast magic missile. Oh, actually, oh no, that's too cast. Oh no, I'm going to cast magic. Yeah. Up, 2, 3. Goodbye. There you go. Very good. Fortunately, there's a level cap, so I'm not really leveling. We still put the level cap in early access to level.
I was about to say, I'm like, oh, did they increase it to level 5? But no, though they're still capped at 4.
So she now smacks him.
That's too bad. I was hoping for a level cap this time.
Should have done it vice versa. It wasn't the most clever move in the world. I think we're good, right? It's gonna be a fairly easy fight. Oh, that was overkill. All right. Good. Got 1 guy left. What can go wrong? Nothing, I guess. I'm actually quite proud of this. This is going really well. But I was lucky in my dice, I think. Alright, or maybe it was the loaded dice that were to my advantage. Alright, shoot this guy. I know, do you still have your jump, your mega jump? You do, right? So, jump. Do your mega jump next to him. Boom! Didn't expect that, did you? Red cap. And... boom! Boom! Boom. Alright. No boom.
Critical miss.
No boom.
Let's try that again. Oh, well, this is an excellent opportunity.
So's got the worst luck. It's always like, what could go wrong? Nothing. Oh, I've got this in the bag. Critical miss. Critical miss. Critical miss.
Marathon luck, man.
Okay.
Then he's like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What do I do now?
Oh, I can get there. No, there. Okay, there. So now he's not only having to deal with a dangerous Githyanki, he also has to deal with a dangerous flaming ball of fire. So this is going really well. All right, so let's see. Can I do the Thorn Whip? Just to please Nick, because he likes it, that spell so much. No, I'm going to do the Moonbeam. That's what I'm going to do. Or maybe I'll throw a good berry. Nobody's going to throw a good berry at Liza. All right, do the Moonbeam. And so from now on, I'm going to follow him.
Throw the good berry.
Moonbeam, so that should work
Throw the good berry.
And she is going to finish it off. She's going to use her overpowered guiding bolt. Ah, it's too far. Damn it. Alright, can you get closer? No, but you can dash, right? So I'm going to make her dash. Gives her extra movement. And I'm going to get closer so that the next turn I can hit him. Alright, I think this fight is at an end. Oh, that is because of my armor that's so good. 90%. Loaded dice, baby. That's not a miss. And 90%, unfortunately, but the ball can hit him. Alright, ball. You actually have a ram attack. So ram him at 50%. Good. Well, not terribly exciting, the 50%, but okay. This is a dumb fight. You're out of. Okay. Let's do that. I got all the smoke in my face. It's not working well.
Turn it off! Turn the smoke
All right,
machine
let's
off!
do the witch bolt. And that should do.
It's seriously not good to hang around that stuff for long periods of time.
All right. Oh shit! My druid
Oh
is down.
dear.
All right. Well, let's. We're going to resurrect. Which is not that I need to help her. Oh my god, we're really not good. Yeah. Oh, now she's dead. All right. We're gonna need a resurrection scroll, and then we're gonna need to go and rest in camp because things could have been going better. All right. So can we?
Might want to heal.
They're dropping like flies.
That could have gone better.
It's because he's poisoned and he's not paying attention.
It's the worst when it comes out of turn-based and back into real time, and then
okay.
and then the poison just kills your whole party. Yay!
Let's do the scroll of revivify. And I missed. Let's do it vice versa. Let's put this up here, and then put this one, and then we're gonna bring back with that click on party portrait trick that David. Oh, it doesn't work for resurrect. Please tell me it works for resurrect. It doesn't work for resurrect yet. Oh no, that's a bug. Okay, well then we'll just do it here. Things happen. All right, good. So we still have Gale that's dead, so we're gonna have to sacrifice yet another one of these scrolls of resurrection. They're expensive, so I'm gonna have to buy new ones. And we gotta find Gale back, who is down here, and we are going to.
He's not dead yet. You just have to give him a
Just
hand.
heal. Yeah.
He just needs help. Yeah, that's right. He has the icon of stabilization, but I can't select him. It looks like. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get in trouble here. Gale, I just click on your icon there. Oh, so that does work. Clicking on the party. I have a problem with my mouse here, so I might be misclicking.
He just got saved by the new feature of clicking on the portraits.
All right, we gotta go to camp, end my day, and just have a little rest here. So we're gonna get a small moment with Shadowheart, I guess.
Damn thing. It has to open, surely. It has to do something.
Shadowheart's attention is consumed by a strange box that she turns over in her hands. The box is inscribed with glyphs, similar to those used by the Githyanki.
All right, my Arcana check was successful. So, a Githyanki artifact. How did you come by that?
In an instant, Shadowheart hides the box from view.
Keep out of it.
Okay, I know what she's going to do. I mean, like, if I ask any of these questions, she's going to be angry at me. But, I mean, she's angry at me anyway, so no need to be secretive. You can trust me.
A bold statement, if not an accurate one. Leave me be.
Oh, Shadowheart, so many secrets. All right. Well, let's see if we can find a friend here. So
Shadowheart wasn't exactly being discreet about trying to solve that Rubik's box.
He's got a ball in his mouth. All right, let's see if I can wrestle it from him.
Where'd the dog come from?
You can recruit the dog. That's been there for since the first time.
Just not. I do have inspiration points, so I could try again, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to do a little trick that I discovered. And that is, I'm going to let him keep the ball, but I'm going to use, I need a little short rest here, so that I get these wild shape points back, so I have 2 charges, and the short rest restores them. I'm going to turn myself into a wolf. Then I'm going to alpha the dog, because it's cat day, it's not dog day.
The dog holds a well-chewed ball in his mouth.
Alright, I'm alpha.
Hand it over.
Telling him, hand over the ball. And so, as these things go, it's not even gonna
Aww.
It's only fair that you enjoy it too. But if you feel like
Why does he want the ball?
I wouldn't mind that at all.
So that he can throw it back to the dog.
Oh man, you're a nice dog. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about what happened to your owner. So I found this dog near his master who was killed, and so I adopted him, and now I'm alphaing him, and now I feel bad about it. But all right, so
I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. No one can replace him. But I'm glad to have somewhere to lay my head.
Alright. Okay, Doc. Alright. I guess, oh no, we need to get, and we need to find some new resurrection things, because in case it goes wrong. So let's go there. Where is he? Hello! Oh, I can't speak like that, so let me dismiss my wild shape.
That NPC is called Talkative Skeleton.
Wild shape button.
Yeah.
So
There's a
If you talk to your
hilarious
companions, you can actually talk when
comment
you
that somebody
they
made of
know
this.
about you.
It's,
talk with
so
strangers,
you spend a lot of money on him, like if you constantly lose your companions. And one of the companions asks, like, what does he do with all the money? And I'm like, he probably just buys like tons of swag with it.
He's been following me around for whatever reason.
Look at that headgear.
Yeah, it's made out of gold. I think I know where the gold is
The cool
going.
part about him is that he actually
All that bling.
It is not by choice.
he sells resurrection scrolls. Alright, so
A mending of the threads between life and death. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more.
okay, what's the cost?
A matter of coin.
That's outrageous.
Such is life. Outrage, leading to a singular.
He's more than a skeleton, though. He's got... He looks like he's
Is that
got
right?
skin.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to trade you for some resurrection scrolls. And I'm going to buy all of them, and I'm going to give you for that... I'm going to give you the dog's bowl. No, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm just going to buy them.
Don't you dare give him the dog's ball.
Okay. Alright. Oh, no! I did it wrong! No!
Did
no,
he?
No.
He just gave him all of his gold.
That is
What?
Sam,
you're
hilarious.
No resurrection scrolls. Gonna be traded.
There's no take back? There's no
Nothing.
oops?
I have one.
There's no undo?
No.
Oh,
I
no.
think I'll better go to sleep, right? Rather than fooling around here and continue my exploration of the druid. So what we're going to do is we're going to try our druid shape, and we're going to go into the dungeon of the hag, and we're going to try to solo the dungeon and save my arena from the hag using nothing but my druid abilities and without getting the rest of the party involved. If we get into combat with the hag, there might be a need to call them in because that would be a little bit hard, but I think I can manage to do a lot of this dungeon just using my druid. Alright, so I'm going to pick my druid, I'm going to disconnect her from the party. Oh wait, however, I am going to get a little bit of help. I'm going to ask Shadowheart here to give me a blessing. And the blessing that she needs to give me is protection against evil, because good and evil actually. So the way that works is protection against good and evil gives you a creature protection against aberrations, celestials, elementals, but especially Fae, and Fae is what that hag is. And that's going to prevent her from charming, frightening, or possessing me, things that she's actually particularly good at. Alright, so let's take Shadowheart. Yeah, this mouse is blocking me. Alright, and then let's cast protection from evil and good. Does it make a difference if I do it level 1 and 2? I don't think it makes a difference, right? So I'll just get the level 1. Okay, good. So she needs to keep on...
Smack her with that blessing.
Give me anything else. Can she give me actually... She can protect me from poison also. That doesn't require concentration. Alright. So consider me buffed up. And can
This
I
is some
actually
aggressive
get
blessings.
Or is that only... That's only for myself, right? Okay. So
Aggressively
anything else?
shout
Or you can give me
encouragement.
false life? I guess. Is false life going to maintain? Oh no, it's only for yourself? Okay, never mind. Alright. Consider my druid buff and let her enter the dungeon. Oh, no, that's not you. The druid.
Yes, and then accidentally send in Shadowheart. Right.
See what's gonna happen to us.
Right.
I'm gonna just live dangerously.
Yes, agreed, Darkness in the live chat there. It looks like they've turned off the smoke machines now, at least.
Alright,
So
let's
thank
first
goodness.
go and introduce ourselves to the locals. Do they have anything to say with us? Alright. This looks like a pleasant place. Oh, look at that. She just popped up.
Sweetness. This is my personal playhouse, and you don't have an invite. Get out!
Alright, well, you know what? I think I'll stay a while.
Wriggler eaten your brain
Also, there's a bird nest on your head.
Leave. Oh, you'll end up in tonight's stew. You'll go nicely with Mayrina. She's already marinating.
Oh, that's the writer being clever there. All right, so this is like a small mausoleum, a museum of the hacks trophies. So here you see a woman that's holding her own head, and if you click on the head,
My darling man.
you get like a...
She wished for the mind of a genius, but the silly head crushed me.
There's a guy trapped in the mirror. But we're looking for on this guy. Well, actually, we can listen to his story.
My dearest Ephraim, he begged me to halt the deadly disease that ravaged him.
All right, so a whole bunch of victims of the hack here. So
well,
to convince us that she's not.
He got his wish.
So
in the technical sense,
is actually a trick. This is why I actually took the protection against good and evil, because I knew I was going to come here. So this mask, if you put it on, you become part of the flock. And let us just do that so you can see what happens. So let me equip.
Hello, baby. My, the mask suits you. Just relax. See the world with fresh eyes. And let your dear old Auntie Ethel look after you.
And so, if I wouldn't have my protection against evil and good, what would have happened now is that every turn, so that's basically every 6 seconds, I would have to roll a wisdom throw or risk being controlled by the hag. And if I were controlled by the hag, my party would lose me, which leads to lots of hilarity in multiplayer, obviously. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Now, putting on the mask actually does have its advantages because it allows me to see the illusions of the hag. And so we notice that this door is an illusion. And so what I can do is I can just walk through this door. There are obviously other ways of discovering this, but this is a particularly neat way of doing it. All right, remember what Nick said about the utility value of a cat? We're going to assume wide-shaped cat now. Okay. And so we're going to use the cat to bypass these now. Oh, actually no. Oh man. Okay. Too late, right? Okay. I'm going to change this. I'm going to dismiss my wide shape. So the thing is that I still have that mask effect on me, and I don't want them. Where is it? Okay, so I'm just going to drop this on the floor because it's useless now, and I'm going to make a short rest because I'm going to have to change something. Okay, so let me do that again. Let me turn into a cat. So you see, now these guys are my enemies. That's because I don't have the mask on anymore, because if I have the mask, they would consider me one of them. Now, what we're going to do is, we want to get over here to this waterfall. But there are nasties walking around here, patrolling around. Now, the cat is an excellent stealth form. If you look at the stats of the cat, and you go to its dexterity, then you see that it gets a +4 to its stealth, which is really, really
Wait, you're
good.
saying the cat is better at stealth than the bear sneak?
Now the cat is in stealth mode.
Yeah.
You see
just a bit.
Vision cones that appear. So vision cones like this, these red ones. If I walk into that, I need to make a roll, and this roll is going to depend on my stealth value. So I have a pretty good chance of succeeding in this, but I just want to make sure, so I'm going to try to avoid getting into this area. You see that little circle, that little sun on my cursor? Now, it's currently hollow, and here it's full. Here it's because this is a zone where there's light, so if I go there, it's going to be harder to remain in stealth, and here it's easier because it's hollow. So I'm going to try to get up there, and to make it easier for me to control the game, I'm going to hit the enter turn-based mode. And so essentially, I am now doing this turn by turn. It allows me for pinpoint accuracy. So if I click on the jump button now, I'm going to be able to jump on this thing. And then it's going to be the end of my turn, and you see I could actually position myself there, where the guy can't see me, and then I'm going to end my turn. So now it's up to the bad guys, and so they get their turn. And so when they finish moving, it's going to be my turn again. And so we got a guy here that is very close. So we're going to just skip our turn, just let him pass by. All right. And do a little inspection of this guy. So if we examine him, we notice that he is a human. Now it doesn't show here yet, it's one of the things that we need to add still. But the humans don't have dark vision, so they can't see in the dark. If we go over here, for instance, these guys, so let's have a look at this guy here. This guy is a drow half-elf, notoriously good at seeing in the dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to sneak off this ladder in my cat form. Sneak, sneak, sneak. All right. And I'm going to switch up. No! Switch up the light. All right. And I'm going to stand here and just hope he's not going to see me. I actually went down a little bit. All right, so let's see what's going to happen. So it's their turn. And see, he can't see anymore because it's dark, so his vision is affected by this. So this was a really good move. And do you know what is a very, very stupid move? Like the most stupid thing that you could do right now is like hitting the Meow bot. So we're going to do that. All right. And so the Meow bot...
Why would you not do the stupidest thing possible?
Alerts them. These guys are surprised because they didn't expect a sneaking cat to be here in the dark. And so they are now all active and hostile to me. And so each turn, these guys are going to be rolling for wisdom. And if they fail, they're going to be hostile and attack me. And if they succeed, they're going to try to resist the hag that's in their heads. Now look at my cat who became very ferocious on International Cat Day. We're not going to kill our cat by attacking. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to use that dismiss wild shape here. So we're going to turn ourselves into a bird. All right. Bird. Okay. A dire raven to be precise. And so we're going to use the ability of the dire raven to fly, so to get ourselves out of this area. Right, we're going to fly over there. Look at that bird go. And the bird has incredible mobility on the battlefield. Right, so we're going to...
So he said, by aggroing the enemies, now each turn they have a role to resist the hag.
Those particular ones, yeah.
Yeah. So
because they're mind controlled by the hag. So
make this one. Oh, yes,
how would you like?
Look at it go! Look at it go!
How would you know to do that?
There you go. So
this is just
managed,
trial and error.
Here, and it actually managed to
know how
fly
to do
out of combat. So I can now leave turn-based
to give them the opportunity to be released from the hag's control.
I know. I'm still in turn. No,
well, they're not released.
These guys don't know where to go.
As far as I know, there's no way to free them. They just roll whether or not they're going to try and kill you that round or not. But because they're
I see.
in the mask, they can't get the mask off. They're just constantly trying to roll to fight the hag. So
gotcha. So they can resist.
As far as I know, there's no way to remove them because, like, I went, I killed the hag, and then I came back to them, and they were still hostile, still trying to fight her influence. I tried to pickpocket the masks off, and that didn't work. So I think they're kind of stuck that way.
Sneaking. All right. And look what we have over there. Well, not excellent at sneaking, excellent at teleporting itself. We're gonna badger up over here.
So why did he aggro them there? Just for fun?
I think he's just wanting to show off that he could fly out of that situation.
Hey, Marina.
So yeah, the Druid, as long as it's got a shape form for
I'm sneaking, so I'm just gonna get out of sneak form.
As long as it's got a shape form, the chances of you being able to leave combat is very, very high.
Uh-oh. You know what I forgot? Oh, I have no speed potion.
No speed potion.
I have no speed potion.
Will. You petulant bollocks!
Alright.
I'll rip your spine out your asshole! I'll use your
mind your language, lady.
There's a prediction starting on Twitch.
I don't know about you guys, but I just love it. Like, look at the badger versus the hag. Being an animal, using all of the animal's abilities. It's just cool.
Do it all over again. Stop it! Please let me go.
She actually doesn't deserve to be saved for the overacting, but what's she doing? She's putting the cage on fire. And then what? She's got initiative on top of it. Oh yeah. She's summoning a bunch of the masked guys. Okay.
We'll claim victory 1 versus 1.
Cage. And then it's me, the hero of the story. So this cage, because I was surprised I didn't get a move right. Oh man, it got even worse. Now there's illusions of the hack here also. Oh man. So this cage is on fire, 18 out of 40. And I can badger myself closer to her. But I don't have a speed potion, which I was supposed to pick up, which I forgot. Because I was... Alright, we're gonna have to bring in the cavalry, so there goes the battle.
He always forgets everything.
The team has been betting
He's
on
so bad at his own game.
They're right. Alright, but it's not over yet.
To be fair,
we're gonna bring
there's a lot to remember.
We're going to try to do this with as minimum cavalry as possible, right? So we're going to bring in the wizard. The wizard for good reasons. First of all, the wizard is going to actually go and pick up, let's see what you have. You have a potion of animal speaking, and healing, we're going to need those. What is over there? This is a potion of greater healing, this is even better. I think I need to go up here to be able to pick up the rest. So you go up. Oops, yeah. Camera work is something that is still in progress, so what is this? Oh, yeah, there you go. So it is going to improve.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who complain about the camera, and it's like it's one of the things that they're working on that they're really trying to like focus on. So a lot of these things is still in early access, and this is how we know what the community wants fixed and what the community wants them to focus on.
All right,
is by allowing us to kind of see that.
Potion of invisibility, potion of healing.
So is the combat that was taking place, is that paused now?
Yeah, it's and I kind of don't like this feature of being able to like, bring in the cavalry while the two people are sitting there facing off against each other. It's like, hey, we're facing off of each other, and then in the background, it's like your allies just build a giant tower and a catapult and a laser beam and targets the person, and then joins the fray.
Those masked guys.
I don't like that kind of thing. I wish that wasn't.
They are all gone.
I wish there was some limitation of like what you can do outside of combat. But
yeah, how long can he run around before going to join the combat?
Yeah, it would make sense if they put like a timer on it, like if you were like, okay,
and as I was experimenting with the game, I found a pretty cool system. I want to show it to you. So I'm gonna jump over here. You see, these poison clouds, they're really not good for me. They're not healthy. But what I can do is I can summon my ball of fire. And so the cool part about my ball of fire is that it's heavy. Alright? And so because it's heavy, it basically can destroy the traps by just rolling over them. And so that is just insanely cool. Alright? I just have to be careful because it can also burn the ladders. So that's a problem. But otherwise, oh, well, it just destroyed the ladder. But like this, it is actually a.
He's so bad at his own game!
Rolling it down more ladders!
Oh god, I'm gonna get myself stuck.
Look, I gotta be careful not to burn the ladders. Oh, I burnt the ladders. I just burnt. Oh dear, that's not good.
Am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way, I guess.
But here I can light the lamps.
Thought I could get through here. I did get through before. Nope. And this is a bit cynically seen still. All parts of the game in production.
Well, Ball of Fire is immune to prone. Confirmed.
So
that was the burning question for me.
No, I'm not going to be able to use my super trick unless I can enhance the jump. Can I enhance the jump of my ball with my wizard? No?
I don't think so.
Oh man. Okay. Well, then we're going to get him closer here.
You can shove it.
I can shove the ball?
You can shove the ball. Or use Thunderwave on it.
Or shove your ball.
I need to make sure that I don't have my wizard killed by the time I get there. So let me try this. Alright. Ball. I need you to do your thing, ball. I need you to help me. Alright. Oh, look at the ball go! Woohoo! Alright, that's more like it, ball.
Oh, there it goes, yes.
Alright, I could have done better with my first ball. It did cost me a spell slot, right? And my guy is not super healthy either. Okay, is there any way, Nick, that I can make him like hard to see? Like with blur? No, that doesn't help it. Any well
I think you got a potion of invisibility, isn't it? The white one?
No, that's the speed one.
No, the other one? On the first part?
No, the other white one, Sam!
Okay, good.
Oh my god, it's so terrible. It's so painful watching him play. It's like
I'm going to be able to bring my potion of speed to my badger, and this should do what I needed to do. Alright.
This character was just talking about
use a heal, Sam. Use a heal.
So we have this really interesting cool system where combat and turn-based, you can basically jump away from it and continue playing in real time, and then have your other party members join. It is not a thing that, if you think about it, it's super logical, but in multiplayer it works really well, and in single player it actually aids you in combat when you are in pickles like this. So, I'm going to start sneaking.
Oh, that sneak
All I need
pose.
to do is get to him. And I could actually use my magic pockets to get it to him. It's much more fun if I do it this way, right? So if I'm invisible and I get to him, I'm good, right?
Yeah. But it's going to be quick, you need to act.
Oh yeah. Ha! But after this move.
Gotta love the sneak walk.
You can also throw the potion.
I could, but if I miss, he's not going to be invisible. And actually, he's invisible now, right? I gave it to him, right? So
yes.
He's invisible. So he could, technically speaking, get to the hack and try to throw her into the chasm. All right, well, let's do these things. You need to, well, yeah. Do we consider him to be close enough? We do, right? Okay.
To pass the potion? Should be.
Yeah. You want me to throw it?
Ooh. I'm 85% sure this is going to work.
You're 85% sure. But if it fails, we're going to be dead. All right, let's use the conventional way, which is to pass through the potion. All right, so let's glitch our own system. All right, do it like this. So that my badger can now... Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Can burrow himself over there. I'm going to do burrow over here. Okay. All right, so this is good. Burrow over there. And now I'm going to drink that potion. This is why this potion was so important to me. I needed that potion of speed because it gives me an extra action. Actually, I should have used it before because I might not get there. I don't have the range.
They know how to build attention at least.
Yeah, no, I mean that's really what it kind of boils down to. Is like what we're getting is we're getting systems.
Marina is safe.
Marina is safe, exactly. All right, so let me click that. There she goes. She was in the pickle because if she would have fallen, if that thing would have burned, she would have fallen there. She would have been dead. All right, this was pretty good. Okay. All right, so let's press and turn and see what happens. Okay, so and turn on you. He's actually in. She's protected from evil. See that protection from evil helped there, I think. So that one failed its roll, so it's under control. Oh my god! Holy shit!
Don't mess with the hag.
What happened to my protection? Oh my god.
Doesn't protect you from everything. Still gotta roll for it.
Game.
He probably rolled like 2 or 3 consecutive ones.
An illusion, right? Oh man, come on. I'm still alive though. I'm not dead yet. Power of the Druid.
Yep,
Don't hit me. Don't hit me, please. Don't hit me. I can make it as a Druid. Don't hit Marina. Yes, I can see that hag never lose. All right. Okay, those voices are not recorded yet, so that's what that exclamation mark means. Oh man. Where's Gale when you need him anyway? All right. What do you think, Nick? Misty step?
Gale, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna break my invisibility. Misty step here. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do?
Ooh.
Thunder wave.
All
Thunder
right.
wave, baby.
You can do it, Sam.
No. I need to move a little bit more behind her. Okay. I'm gonna actually manage to do this, and like I will be the victor of the day. Check this out. Check this out. Check it out. All right. Loaded dice.
Saving throw. Just very athletic for a hag.
That is the worst luck ever.
All right.
He's loaded.
He always gets the worst luck ever. It's comical
make this more
watching him
for
try to
ourselves.
do
Let's
this.
turn into the bear. I'm pretty sure if I were to throw, I just need to know which one it is, but he could actually help me with this, right? You think I need the others? Yeah,
It looks like that.
It certainly looks like it, right? So, okay, we're gonna try to get the others in here. All right, this is good. This might be a little bit more of an epic battle than we expected it was gonna be. Okay, so you think he's gonna be able to get through? Oh, he can dash twice because of the thing, the potion.
Oh, the potion?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
No, leave me alone. So he's gonna be able to dash all the way to the summoning ring. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so bear opens door. Sick bear, I gotta say. So I know this game a little bit. So I know that there is an actual ring here. And so through this ring, I will be able to bring in the rest of the party to help us. In the meantime, I need to make sure that this guy is not dead. God damn it. He's gonna die. Oh, it's your turn? No, sorry. Come on, guys. I mean, you gotta put your heart in it. You gotta resist a little bit. I'm never gonna make it this right. I'm probably way over the schedule already.
Gotta respect the hag.
I'm much more respectful already. What idiocy drove me to try this life? Hubris. Like, this is always the beginning of the end. Oh no. She's just standing there while I'm like, oh god. What do you think? Nope. This is not gonna work, right? Let's go. It's gonna be utter fail. This is. Oh, he's dead? Alright, well, I guess I can get the cavalry ready. Let's see, get them outside. No, actually, they don't need to go outside. They can already they should get close to this door here. Over there, I guess? Or is it? I think that's the way, right? And so, where's the bear? The bear is still suffering. It's almost there. She's starting to heal everybody. Nya, 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 nya. So yeah, so we did start the stream by saying you shouldn't try this at home. Now you see why. Just if that thunder wave would have worked. My plan was almost foolproof. I trusted the loaded dice. I'm out of movement. I gotta dash again. I really shouldn't have done the bear, but yeah, he has a high survivability, so that's what I wanted to do. Okay, so the bear is good. So we're gonna send these guys over here. What's blocking them? The door is preventing them from getting it. Can I lockpick this door? I don't have any lockpicks. Alright, so let's just smack it then. Smack it. Oh, look at this sword, man. Boom. Okay, can you please go and aid your friend who's down there? So this could be perfectly a situation in multiplayer where an idiot like me would have gone down all on his own and then beg his friends to come and help him. The bear is not in a good shape though. Can I short rest? No, he's dead, right? So I can't short rest if they're dead, right? Won't be able to do that. Okay. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Alright, Shadowheart, can you do something about this? Well, she should have some healing spells on her in the first place. I think
she has a scroll, I think.
She has. Do you think
I turn them all off?
Scrolls? Like in combat. You think
no, it's better to get one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna remove the enhance ability. Healing word?
Sure.
Yeah. What about the other one? The
left and bottom.
What, you want me to do cure wounds?
Nah. Healing word is fine.
Yeah? You think I'm fine? Alright. So I'm not gonna waste a thing on him. He needs to. He actually has a lunar ment which he can use. But I should probably do healing words, right? Can I throw like a healing potion at him?
Yeah.
And that works?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do that. Potion of greater healing, throw it at him.
Let's see how good it works.
Yeah!
Oh, there you go.
Awesomeness. Alright, okay.
Healing with violence.
Something else we're fixing for this patch actually is that potions don't deal damage, hopefully.
It didn't deal damage. In the past it dealt damage, right?
Yeah,
If I did that, yeah.
Because
exactly.
of course it's physics. You throw a bottle at someone, but we see people keep killing their companions with that.
My companion.
When you throw a potion,
my friend is down to 1 hit point. Throw the bottle at him.
Yes. All right. So 3 of us and 1 potential extra ally against a bunch of really nasty people. Hey, actually, wait a minute. We're here in her thing. Or she's got a whole bunch of rings, so let's take all of those. What else do we have here? I know there's a potion somewhere here. The potion of speed. There's another potion of speed here. So let's take that one. Staff of Crones we're not going to take just yet. There's a whole bunch of nasty surprises here which we don't want either. Okay, Nick, you got any strategies that you think I should use in trying to get my body back and especially kill the hag. I think if I can manage to get to the hag and throw her into the chasm, and that is a successful roll, that is that. Is she dying? Oh, she's necros.
Gale is killing everyone. You should shove Gale at the hag.
This guy keeps on healing her. I mean, and I think he's cheating because he can keep on healing her. So it's like Gale versus Marina. Oh my god, look at that. Okay. So I gotta explain this to the players watching. Gale, when he dies, has necrosis around him, and so this is now being used against these guys. But this is actually pretty good. So that means the hag is all on her own. I think actually my best chances would actually be to go into Cat and then push her. Badger, push.
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah, I know that I can try, but do you think they have any chances of success?
Low one.
No, I don't think you have any success.
And heavy.
Based on past experience, I would say your chances are 0.
Alright, I think I should try. Or you think I shouldn't try?
I'm just gonna go for it.
For the stream.
With the Get Yankee, with a psionics jump?
Sure.
No good.
Do you have a pushing ability on your Get Yankee?
I do, I have shove.
Oh, you have shove.
I have Thunder Wave.
Oh.
Well, with bonus action shove, maybe I can get there, right?
Got shove and thunder wave.
Yankee.
What's the chances he's gonna fail with both of those things?
Do you know which one is the
Pretty
real
high.
No.
Oh.
But I think there's only one right
This
now.
game is honestly so much fun because of
Their
stuff
other
like
forms are
this.
gone for the moment, so I
And,
think
like all of the
this is
different
actually
things
her.
that you can do.
She'll probably summon more, so you need a good initiative roll here.
I need a good initiative roll. Right. Well, I'm blessed, right? So.
Oh, you can surprise her with a arrow, with a bow attack.
So if I surprise her with a bow attack, can I then still jump behind her so I can jump to throw her off?
Yeah, you should get a new turn.
So is that a good Hail of Thorns? Is that a good opening attack?
Yeah.
You sure? It's 35%.
Well, it's 35%, but.
And this, it's 45%.
Mm-hmm.
I can also throw my boots. You know, I've had great success with it in the past. It's 45%. You think I can make this?
Well, you're attacking for the sake of the first turn.
Yes. So what do you want me to do? Attack?
Go for it.
All right. No, I'm not going to do 35. Actually, I'm going to pin her. 45%. Oh, it worked. So that actually slows her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh,
yeah.
this is good.
Yeah, and she skipped her turn, so no
All right,
illusions.
now we need to do our thing. I should have done the thing before. I have an action surge, so I need to take that potion of speed that we found. Where is it? Okay. Give it to her. Okay, so she got the potion of speed, which allows me to get next to her.
Ouch. Yeah, that cost your bonus action.
What? Why didn't you say anything? I have Thunder Wave.
Oh my goodness.
You need to aim it so it's
so bad at this.
This, right?
No.
I can't get over it how terrible he is in his own game.
It works normally.
Oh, I'm like, wait,
tricky.
how's he gonna do that without a bonus action?
This is a good thing. So I can see there's an angle. Okay. All right, you ready?
All right.
Close your eyes. How do you think? I'm afraid now because if I fail, it's probably going to be game over, right?
Well, that's a roll of the dice.
God.
Still no.
So
all right.
Do it again.
Aye?
Do it again. Do it again.
You think it's going to work?
Well, if you keep
Loaded
rolling,
dice, of course.
the loaded dice need to kick in. Anytime now.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh
Oh my goodness, are you kidding?
I was wondering why he was knocking her onto the platform.
That's a hack for you.
Like,
You thought you
Seth,
got
what
that.
are you doing?
no! Oh no!
Nope.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Right on the edge.
He has what? He has no wild shape shards left.
Oh no!
And he's got no more shape changes
push
left
her?
because he didn't rest.
Yeah, it's a badger.
Yeah, he's not a badger. He doesn't have wild shape charges anymore.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that bear should be able to knock her off.
Look at that
Yes.
bear go, man.
Go sneaking bear. Now headbutt.
Alright, so I'm gonna
Headbutt her into the river.
Where is it? Dismiss wild shape.
Other side.
I can't see the stream, so I'm probably boring people by now by doing all of these things. But all right. Oh, she
No,
doesn't
it's
have a
very
potion of speed
entertaining.
anymore. Damn it. I wanted to push her with a bonus action.
No, because you gave the motion of speed to the... Oh my god!
Not really. Okay, well. Not making a terrible impression here, am I? Are you impressed, Nick?
I'm impressed with the hag.
You're impressed
the
with
tenacity.
Well, you know, I could put on a torch. I'm not going to see action.
This is going very well during rehearsals, you know.
I know. I know this was going very well during rehearsals.
Yeah.
But we've been plagued by a whole bunch of problems, right? So, no!
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, so much for that.
There's no way we're gonna make it.
Oh, it's so painful.
Where's Gale actually? Alright, so where are you, Gale? Right. He's here. So actually, I could probably resurrect him there from these
It's a
guys.
ploy.
Reactions and narration, because it's like, this is my ongoing narration. I'm gonna be like, oh cool, what's this thing? Okay. Oh no! It's great.
Alright, so I should probably put that on my bar here. Now you know why I wanted to buy the resurrection scroll. I did say I was going to try glitching things. Let's teleport them to a safe spot. Oh yeah, that's a good safe spot. Alright.
Yeah.
High and mighty.
Right next to the enemy archer.
Yeah, but you're gonna see, she's gonna have a successful attack roll, and that's gonna be good, and then we're going to, okay. So, you still need to shoot at one of those, so that we need to figure out which one is a real hack.
Yeah.
So if I shoot her, with my 20% chance to hit, man.
Funny miss.
Okay, but I can,
again.
Oh no, I could make some good berries.
Maybe Moonbeam.
Oh, wait a minute, no, I could get spikes actually on these. See that?
Yeah.
There you go. Why are they not hit by the spikes?
Well, they're slowed down, so if they happen to move, they'll cut.
They're slowed down, if they happen to move, they'll be in there. Alright. Maybe I could, man, keep on making the bad decisions here. Alright, I can actually smack this guy, right? But I don't want to kill them really, I just want to... Alright, good, there. Take your sword. Do something useful. Oh yeah. Where's Shadowheart actually? She's not in the battle. Let's bring her in the battle. God, I wish I could see the stream telling me what I need to do. I would have done exactly that and then I could blame them for it. Where's she going? What's she doing?
Oh yeah.
Alright, so we're probably not going to make it. We said no save games. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die so hard. If only I could just push her into the bloody thing. If my plan had worked. If only. Oh, well.
Try to pull her down with the Druid. I don't know if
You
that's
mean
gonna help.
my dead Druid?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one, right? So I need to get to her first to help her. Can I make that jump? I can. Alright, so give her a helping hand. Helping hand. Stand up. Again, if I win this fight, I shall be very happy. Alright, no, I don't think so. I don't think this is a good idea. Can't I throw something like really hard at her? Like a longsword? Or like a blood great axe? Would that hurt her? Probably not.
A little.
Can I reach her still?
Just start throwing your weapons at her.
Alright, that was a fake one. Great. I guess it's progress. Oh man. There's no way I'm gonna make this. This is gonna be a bit of an anticlimax. Well. So now you know what to not to do. I think Marina's not gonna make it either. Who's actually still standing? Shadowheart and my Druid with 1 out of 31. Okay. Yes! That's what I want to see from you people. So, we got Shadowheart left. I guess.
It's so painful.
I think this is gonna be it. I think this is where we have to admit defeat.
Is the hag gonna prevail?
The hack will prevail.
Your secret's
All the people that
safe.
bet against me are gonna be correct. Shadowheart, she's what? She's frightened.
It's a hack.
I mean, at least he doesn't like do what a lot of these other studios do, where they pre-script the entire gameplay.
There's one thing our production team wants us to remind the viewers is when the patch is going to come out.
Oh, yes, right, actually, we should mention this. So patch 4 is currently still in QA. We had hoped it was going to be ready this week, but we found some nagging bugs that we wanted to absolutely fix before we gave it to you. So we're waiting actually for word from our QA when it's ready. We expect it's going to be next week. We don't know exactly when next week, but once we have that, we will be sure to announce it on our channel. So a little bit more patience. You could see glimpses of the Druid gameplay here, because I didn't do it as well as I had hoped I was going to do it. But there's a lot of cool stuff to explore with it when you try it out. Now, need to mention, this is still early access, so only get into it if you are interested in how a game evolves during early access. Otherwise, wait for the full game to be there. But yeah, I think that you can see it is evolving, and there's a lot of... the Druid class actually does add a lot of gameplay. I had a lot of fun fooling around with it. I can actually win this fight, if the loaded dice are on my side.
I saw that. It happened.
So, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us on Early Access. As always, let us know your thoughts. We are reading, we are listening. We're very curious to see how you guys are going to abuse or use the Druid and your parties and multiplayer and single player. Very, very curious about what you're going to think about the new update. So it's coming to your way soon. We will be obviously continuing development. We still have a long journey ahead of us. There's going to be many updates. But bit by bit, we're going to get there and make BG3 the game that it deserves to be. With all of that said, I want to thank everybody involved in preparing this. This was not the easiest thing to set up in the corona circumstances, but we managed nonetheless. Thank you, everybody here on the panel also, for joining me and being so cool. And thank you for watching. So we're going to dash off with a trailer that shows the Druid in all of its shapes. And then it's going to be until next time on the next update or on the next panel from hell. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
An army was coming, she said. Goblins, drow, and more still. Legions upon legions. The Druids of Cloakwood knew the dangers this would bring. There was but one Druid who guarded the circle, who protected our ways.
Maya, Fortio!
Burn like fire. You howl like wind. You are Faith Warden. Go forth and let your might be known.
Oh, you can do a mind flayer. Ooh, not a mind flayer. The little whatever the little guys are called. I can't.
I don't know.
Intellect Devourer, yes. Be an Intellect Devourer. All right, so that's new class, Druid. They have more fixes, tweaks, bug fixes, patches, improvements, and overall mechanical changes than all of their previous patches up to this point. So all of their previous patches was about 15,000 different items, and we're getting 15,000 fixes in this new update here. So that's pretty cool. There's definitely like improvements being made. I was hoping for 2 and maybe some additional story stuff, but it seems like we're just getting 1, and then the new story stuff is going to be tied only to the new Druid class. So no new content as far as like new encounters or story progression as far as the main story goes outside of the new Druid class. But there is new dialogue, new characters, new interactions, tons of new ways of resolving certain conflicts with the Druid. So that is good news, because that means that I think we're going to see that reflected more and more in some of the upcoming character classes. So we've got the Ranger, we got the Paladin, we got a couple other classes that are coming down the line. We'll expect one at least coming before midsummer probably, and then we're going to probably get another one before fall, and or into fall, and then maybe another one before Christmas. So they said they were hoping for a year. I think now, looking at this, I'm really thinking that we're probably going to be like 18 months before full release. So that like take off probably about 4 months now. So we're looking at 12, 14 months to go essentially. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think if they launched it in February of next year, that would probably be good. February, March, maybe. But yeah, no, definitely things are looking up. So we'll see how that goes.
Very cool. Yeah, that was quite an impressive display. I mean, so the bad luck and the mistakes and stuff.
So terrible.
All of that aside, it was still a very entertaining show. It really, I mean, they succeeded in what they were trying to do, which is showcase what the Druid is capable of and what they've added and changed about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Very entertaining show. It is too bad they had so many technical problems. I imagine there was a lot of limitation. I don't know if you could see it in the one angle, but even when he was standing with the other guy who was dressed as a Druid, like they had a plastic or glass pane between them. You couldn't see it in the double shot where they're standing side by side, but when they went to the over the shoulder shot behind the Druid guy, you could see his reflection in it. So it's obviously there's a lot of things like that really complicated the production. So unfortunately, but still very good show. And yeah, that like it was better than a lot of E3 showcases I've seen. So
with E3 showcases, I don't laugh nearly as much. And the other thing to remember is that so much of that stuff is like scripted. There's how many times have we seen somebody who's gotten up on stage with a controller and they're not actually controlling the game. It's a pre-rendered thing that's running in the back, and stuff like that's really terrible. This we see is real because he makes constant mistakes and forgets to do things, like trades all of his gold to the guy who's just like, oh, you giving me all this gold? Well, thank you.
Well, that seems
wait, I needed to buy something with it. It's like,
I think it was just a that's a case where it was like a misclick and you couldn't undo it.
Well, yeah, it's a bit of a misclick, but it's also like he put all his money on the counter. And he's like, hello, sir, here's all my money. I would like to do a transaction. And then the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, all right, transaction concluded. It's like, okay. It's like okay, takes the money. I mean, I know people who they put down a 50 or they put down a 20 when they meant to put down like a 5 or a 10, and the guy's like, okay. It's like, no change. And then it's like, wait, can I get some change for that? Sign says no change. So I know it's stuff like that, and it's kind of scummy, but I mean, I think things like that are actually like feed into making this game as interesting as it is, because you can make mistakes like that, you can do things like that, and having the ability to fail in a video game is actually a good thing, and I think is something that more games are not doing with. It's like we talk about some games where it's like they make you a god essentially. So like, what do you have to be afraid of in the video game? It's like the problem with fear, or the problem with some of these other games where it's like I'm a walking death machine. Why should I be scared of some skittering thing across the room? It's like let me just light it up with my photon laser beam. Like it's stuff like that, or it's the inability to fail a quest, where it's like, hey, I need you to go do this quest. It's like there's no way that you can possibly fail it, and the more you keep trying at it, the simpler it gets. That kind of stuff. So I think overall, the direction that they're going in, I like where they're going with this. It's still fairly early on for this particular game. And I can't wait for us to get the GM powers and the multiplayer and really be able to play at that together. I think is going to be very, very exciting. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, excuse me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more stuff. Overall, I think it's a good game, and I think this is one of the best games of this year that we're going to see, that we're really going to be able to get our hands on, sink our teeth into. These patches will take time, and so obviously, if you're wanting a more complete product, don't hop into it now. There's still a lot of glitches and problems and camera control issues and that kind of stuff, and these are things that they are working on. If you're worried about storyline and that's it, and you're okay with the bugs, I say hop into it. Because the story isn't going to be spoiled for you by playing the first act. That story stuff isn't going to change. If you aren't going to be happy with waiting on resolving the story for a year or more, then obviously hold off on that, obviously. But yeah, up to this point, I think we're good for now. So yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Quote of the day: Sven Vinke, gotta go down on the good berry.
Oh yeah.
Chuck a good berry at it.
Chuck a good berry at it. Yes. And that's. Is there anything more to say?
No, I'm. I think we're good now.
Yeah.
So, and we're not gonna have a stream later today. We kind of had a pre-stream where we talked about the big news of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out if you're still watching. And Ash will clip that out and put that up as a separate video at some point.
If you haven't yet, subscribe to the podcasts channel for the Triple S podcasts. Find the link to that in the description below. That is where we will be streaming our Saturday podcast. We will be streaming that on the new podcast channel Saturday morning. And I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about as far as Baldur's Gate 3 and the rest of the news of the week. At the beginning of this live stream, we did talk about some recent news with regard to Cyberpunk 2077, Anthem, a couple of other little things. So, yeah, you can check that out. Like Saib said, I'll be putting some clips up from that separately, but if you want to just catch the whole thing, you can watch the VOD of this live stream at the first hour after the countdown is that news stuff. So thank you all for joining us. Those of you who are here in the live chat still, thank you so much for joining us today. And of course, like, subscribe, leave comments down below, all of that stuff. We really appreciate it all. And on behalf of Saib and Moontag, I will talk to you all again very soon.